These clubbers to round 7, I believe it is. No, it's round 6, isn't it? I can't remember. We'll have a look in a minute. It must say at the bottom. Round 6, it says at the top of the screen. I'll get my act together here in a minute. From Kyalami. So we're in South Africa tonight, and we have got two great things for you. We have got a 17 people on the grid. That's my terminology gone right out the window there. My grammar school teacher would have given me a clip round the ear with a ruler for that one. And not only that, we've got 3 20-minute races. And to add to the fun from the commentary box, I have got my great friend Tech Dan back with us tonight. Are you there, Dan?
Evening all. How's everyone doing?
Well, we're not too bad. We're still here. That's all that matters. Just having a quick look at this qualifying rundown at the moment. This is for race run. We will have an individual qualifying for each race tonight. But we've got a regular face in position 1, but look at position 2. Ricardo Hall, brand new racer to us here at Race Club, and he's on the front row of the grid.
I know, 2 tenths off Donardi's time, so it's really quick. Donardi always puts in a great pace, good qualifying, so you should be proud of that one.
Yeah, he was quick last week. Oh, and another one of our recent attendees has just nipped onto that front row. That is Alex Powell. He has got that onto the front row, so that's quite impressive.
Yeah, chosen the Bentley as well, so it's good to see that car back actually.
Yeah,
we've not seen it in a while.
No, we haven't. If you look down the bottom, Yorkshire Micker and West Hill Racing, they're using it as well. So it's had a bit of a sort of Bentley resurgence. So we have not seen it for a while. It's suddenly we've had it sort of reappearing everywhere.
Yeah, I mean it's a good quality car, especially for anyone who's new to the game. Very stable platform.
And I've just brought on the screen one of our drivers who I would have expected to be a little bit further up, but isn't, and that's Chicken Paxer. He's down there in 5th, 3rd row of the grid for him.
Yeah, he's probably too busy talking on Facebook, I think, maybe the problem there.
A bit too much distraction going on in the cockpit there.
Yeah, I think so.
And I'm just trying to... Oh, we've got a driver to talk to by the look to it.
There we go. He's joined the chat. How are you, Ben?
I'm good, mate. Yourself?
Yeah, all good. What happened?
I made a mistake on my first one and kind of come up to the top of the hill before the double left-hander. Kind of found too much curb and found the barrier on the outside, which is not ideal. And then a bit of traffic, and then completely screwed up the last lap. So yeah, it's interesting bit of qualifying.
Well, I'm pretty glad there's more than one tonight then.
Yeah, although it makes it interesting seeing what I can do from 5th. So yeah, hopefully we'll have a bit of fun.
Well, how's the McLaren around here, Ben?
It's nice actually. Again, set up very similar to how I set it up for Monza, so very stiff, which actually surprised me. I kept on, when I was practicing, kept on adding stiffness, and seemed to get faster and faster. So yeah, it's fun. It's fun. It's nearly as good as the Audi that I had last season.
Good.
And do you reckon you can go forward from where you are at the moment?
I blooming well hope so. Yeah, I think there's certainly drivers ahead are decent. Should be some good racing, whatever. So hopefully we can push forward a little bit. It's just getting through that first corner, really.
Any particular tips for getting through it with all your wing mirrors intact?
Close your eyes and lick the stamp, really. But yeah, just push people, try and get them into a little bit of a mistake. There's plenty of places they can run wide and lose time, but these corners here are so important because they feed you into the next straight. So if you get someone wrong in the last corner, I think we saw a couple of seasons ago, I managed to get Bassox a little bit wide into the last corner, and then had him on the I think it was the start of the very last lap into the first corner. But yes, it's a great track and really love it.
Good. That first corner, getting back to it, is quite a tight sort of 90 degrees sort of style corner. You're going to be a heavy braking zone into that. Any sort of plans for the first lap?
I just try and keep it clean. It's so easy to wreck your race in the first corner. So you can't win the race in the first corner, but you definitely can lose it. So we'll see. Just main thing is concentrate getting through it, and then pick the pieces up when we get the other side. Hopefully not literally pick the pieces up, because if you are, then something has definitely gone wrong.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, cool. Right, guys, I'm going to jump back, but great to speak to you. I'll speak to you a little bit later.
Okay, we'll catch you after the first race.
Cheers, guys. See you later.
Oh, and we just dropped down onto the grid, so I'm just here beavering away, irritating the world of Facebook groups. So we will be with you shortly when I remember what I'm actually doing. Oh, what did we do
Well,
before
you got a minute and a half.
We'll find it out. I can spam the world way before we get to that point, even with completely irrelevant groups, which is always quite tempting, but probably leads to a ban of some form. Well, it looks like we've actually got some people talking to us. Oh, Yorkshire Mix says, here we go, race 1, and Jurgen, who I think is DB Kung from memory. We've got so many drivers here tonight, I'm losing track.
No,
he says, good luck, everyone. So, if you're out there watching us in YouTube land, please, please, please do join into the commentary, because we'd love to hear your feedback, good and bad. We've got broad shoulders here, so we're happy to hear your comments on the racing and on the commentary and so on. And just while we're building up to the start for race 1, just a reminder of our sponsor, who is Lovely Stickers. They produce decals for mainly driving rigs, so you can adorn your steering wheel, you can cover your seat with the logos of your preferred racing team, be it F1 or GT3 or World Superbikes or whatever you want to do. That would be absolutely fantastic. They are on Facebook, so if you want to go over there and search for them, that would get a big thumbs up for us.
20 seconds.
So I'm not quite sure where to pitch this first one, Dan, because we've got some new names up front, so that could it sort of rolls the dice, and we're not quite sure where it's going to land.
I think we're going to see how clean people can be within that first corner, and how much room people are going to try and take up defending that inside line. So if I was Donardi, that would be exactly where I'm darting, is right down to that inside corner.
And because the other thing is that tight last left-hander, which we were trying to discuss the actual correct name, was Ingui, it's just getting through that and getting yourself right to the front of your sort of start box. And what I mean by that is each driver will have a little sort of green and red area and on their dashboard, and they need to stay in the green bit and need to be as far forward in that and going at the maximum speed, which I think is 70 kilometres an hour.
It is, yeah, for that start. It's a bit of a tough one, really. This my controllers are unfortunately locked, so I can't change the view, which is really annoying.
You won't be until the race starts. It does
frustrating.
Yeah, it gives you. Frustrating for you. Imagine what it's like for me. It gets a bit of a crisis moment at this end.
Very true, yeah.
It's like, where do I go? Go on then. Put your money on the table. Where do you think?
Do you know what? As much as I hate to say it, I think you can't really rule out Ben, can you? You can't rule out Paxo.
What?
I hate to say that. Yeah, from fifth, I think he's got a chance. I do think he's got a chance. DB Cunt's going to give him a tough ride, and I'm a bit curious as to what second and third, Alex and Richard or Ricardo. It's Ricardo. Well, completely messed that up, hasn't I?
Well, it could be the Irish driver Richard O'Hall.
Oh, Richard O'Hall. No, because there's no H. There's no H.
Oh, I don't. I always remember Jordan F1 with. Obviously Eddie Jordan. He tried to convince everybody that Timo Glock was actually Irish because his real name was Timo Glock.
I like it. Timo Glock.
Good old Eddie Jordan. The world of F1 is not quite the same without him. Well, I'm going to go for a safe bet. I'm going to go for Donardi, which is probably going to be commentator's curse for both of those guys, so it'll be somebody else.
Yeah, which is why I don't like picking the guy who qualified first, because I feel like I'm putting a lot of pressure on his race.
Oh yeah, of course. No, you need to do that. We need to liven things up, and that's how we do it.
I mean, the other person to look out for really is Rusty GT and Chris Vida. Both of them are quality drivers, so can't really rule them out either. This sort of middle pack from sort of fourth to eighth, really, they're all decent drivers. Regulars here as well.
And the man in the middle of that we considered to be a hero is good old Chris V Dub, the man using a hand control and not a full-on steering wheel and pedals.
Yeah, driving a Porsche as well, so he likes to make it as difficult as he possibly can for himself.
He does, but he still knocks in some pretty good results. So here we go. We're through the last corner. We're rolling our way up to the start. They're side by side. We're waiting for the green light, and we've got it, and we're off. And it looks to me, oh, well, whoever's got a drive for already. Waterskin must have been out of position. Donardi's got a good start. And the Bentley of is that Alex Powell just being pushed out a little bit wide there. They're going spread. Like what's that? 5 wide into the first corner. This could end in tears. It does look like
my view.
They've all got through. This is incredibly good driving here. We've left nobody behind. Oh, we've left somebody behind. Banana Man's got left behind. Oh, yeah, there's a little bit. Yeah, go on. Couple of accidents. Second corner there.
Yeah. That's unfortunate.
So I'm not quite sure who's come off worse there, but I did notice Banana Man was quite a way down there. So let's just let the order sort itself out. Because it looks like one of those drivers might have been Ricardo, I think. Yeah, he's just coming across the line now. So
yeah,
Ricardo, he's down in 16th. So he's obviously a fast driver out there, and he'll be working his way back through. And also Banana Man and De Silva.
Oh yeah, a lot of the top drivers there are right towards the back, aren't they?
I'm not. De Silva, I don't think has actually started. So. I think we can ignore him, so it's Banana Man and Ricardo at the back.
De Silva is in the race.
Is he?
Yeah, I'm on board with him at the moment.
Oh, okay, I take it back. So we've actually got 18 races, so that is a full house. So let's jump to the front then. So we've got Donardi, who managed to get away cleanly there, and he's through Murder Curb corner down to the final left-hander. Oh, a little bit of action behind. Looks like Chicken Paxo. Your bet was looking a bit racy behind DB Kung there, because
yeah, I did say that. I said DB Kung would give him hassle, and he is.
And and the other thing, obviously, that's helped Paxo there is Ricardo Hall being out of position. Oh, and Chris
he's making a move.
Yeah, Chicken Paxo down the outside at Crowthorne. They're coming out of it side by side, they're giving each other space, but Chicken Paxo's got that done, so that's the black McLaren up to third, and DB Kung down to fourth. So his pre-race prediction by Dan, you could be right.
Yeah, I think I'm starting to get good at this. Looking at it, I think DB Kung's setup's not really very good. He's gone wide on a few corners now. He might be struggling. It could just be tyre temperatures, tyre pressures in the opening few laps, so keep an eye on him, I think.
But ignoring everything else, look at what we've got in 5th and 6th. Oh, we did that. Oh, no, he's still there. We've got Chris V Dub and his teammate Randy Flangepants in those golf-coloured Porsches, sorry, or Porsches and McLaren.
Yeah, one Porsche, one McLaren. They're lovely liveries they've got. Like I said though, he's coming up on DB Kung really quick, so I told you, don't rule him out. Don't rule him out.
He's up there, you know. Chris V Dub looks possibly like he could be getting 4th place off Chicken Paxo. So I'm just going to whiz down. Let's have a look at some other battles. We've got Yorkshire Mika in the second Bentley out there at the moment. He's looking quite racy behind Groot, and Groot we haven't seen for a few rounds.
I've just jumped on board with him at the moment.
Just coming out of the last corner.
Yeah, that Bentley's very good, isn't it?
It is, but and okay, we did have a little bit of a kerfuffle at the second corner with those two tight left-handers. There was always the chance there was going to be a bit of panel damage somewhere along the line.
Yeah.
But interesting, the one who is making moves down in 14th is Ricardo Hall in the only Nissan in the race. He's just going up the inside of Vicente at the first corner, but Vicente's fighting back.
Oh no!
Oh, no. Poor old Ricardo. His first race. He's having a bit of. Go on.
Yeah, the Lambo of Vicente.
That was
Vincent?
it.
Yeah, he's the one who come out worst on that one, unfortunately. I think just a little tap there has kind of pit manoeuvred him and spun him round.
Yeah, I wasn't quite sure who to put that down to.
I think racing incident. They've just had a bit of a coming together.
Oh, and that is was that who was going across the? That was West Hill Racing. Just took a little bit of grass at the S's. Lost 1, 2, 3 positions. He was being chased by Ricardo and fell unfortunately to the pressure. But he's carrying on. Is West Hill Racing there in? I think down in be 15th now because he's been overtaken by Banana Man.
I don't want to say I told you so, but Paxo is right up the tailpipe of Alex there.
Yeah, catching's one thing, overtaking's another.
Indeed.
Oh,
I
dear,
have to say, the livery that Alex has got on that Aston is, I do like the colour scheme he's gone for.
Yeah, we do seem to have this thing with Race Club. They suddenly decide everything needs to be black or yellow or orange. And, you know, there's a whole colour palette out there, and they choose the same colour cars each.
Yeah,
So,
indeed.
just a note to Waterskin down there in 18th, having a bit of a nightmare in the Aston. He got a drive-through for an infringement at the start, so he's been through and done the drive-through, but unfortunately was speeding in the pit lane whilst he did the drive-through and has now got a 30-second stop and go.
Just sometimes it just doesn't work for you, does it? I think everyone has those days. I mean, the good thing is that he can come back in the next couple of races, so yeah, it's just unfortunate loss of points for this one.
Yeah, I agree, but I think, and we may be corrected by Ben, is that only the top 2 scores of the 3 races count, so you've got a joker to play.
Yeah, that is true. It just means the next couple of races has got to be pin perfect, haven't they?
Well, I'm going to do
safety net.
That's it. I'm going to do the brave thing, and I've hopped on board with Chicken Paxo in the McLaren in 3rd place. We are looking at Alex Powell in 2nd place in the Bentley, and look, that Bentley does look awfully wide, and it is keeping Chicken Paxo back at the moment.
Yeah, he's having to start to go defensive. I'm going to stick on board with these two, I think, for a lap or so.
Well, I've just seen Waterskin's just come out of the pit lane again, but he's still showing that stop and go. So I don't know if he missed his pit box, but he's not improving at the moment.
No, that's rather unfortunate.
The other thing with this track, and you might know better than me, apart from after the kick into Crowthorne, the first sort of serious left-hand corner, well, the first left-hand corner, there doesn't seem to be anywhere else obvious to overtake.
Yeah, I mean there are a couple of good spots. The last corner is another prime spot to make an overtake, because if you can break into there, go deep, push them wide, that's another good spot. But I wouldn't plan on using that every single lap. That's more of a last minute, last lap kind of ditch effort. Just looking at the track map now.
Well, I'm trying to remember on that top corner, after the S's, there's a corner up there which I think's got quite a tricky name.
Yeah.
That is sometimes a possibility if you get a good run through the S's.
Yeah, so I'm going to call that Lee Cop, because that's what it looks like.
I'll go with you on that one.
Yeah, it's not really it's a hairpin, but not really a hairpin, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it's a sort of two-part. I know there's one corner I've infinitely struggled with, and talking of struggling, that looked like Alex Powell, who struggled a little bit on the exit of the last corner, went a little bit wide across the gravel there, but doesn't seem to have lost too much speed. And the lap times for the top few, well, the top 4 seem very close together. Chris V. Dub dropping off the pace a little bit there, but he's still there in a very solid 5th.
Yeah, for sure. You got to remember he's driving a Porsche as well as being on a hand controller. So, and DB Kung is not slow, so you know he's keeping sort of a decent pace.
And I'm terrified to look away from this battle for second place, because we always know what happens when I look away. An overtake occurs. See, I nearly looked. I was thinking of looking away, and an overtake nearly happened.
Yeah, I think it was a bit ambitious by Ben. I think he's trying to get in the mirrors, you know, showing that he's there, using that kind of tactics. Hats off to Alex. I think he's doing a really good race.
It was, I know you weren't with us last week, but it was very solid, and the first 6 for probably the first sort of 15, 20 minutes,
not over yet,
as we just tip over halfway in this 20-minute time-limited race. In the first sort of 20 minutes at Spa, there was like a pack of sort of 6 of them that gradually spread out into 3 twos, and then unfortunately as we got towards the pit stops broke up.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought, here he goes, Ben's going down the inside at the last corner. He's elbowing the Bentley a little bit wide. Bentley of Alex Powell goes across the gravel, but they are now side by side. It's a drag race down to the first corner.
Yeah, trying to out-drag that Bentley as well is going to be difficult. I mean...
Here he goes. He's having a look into Crowthorne. He's diving in on the brakes.
Keep it clean, boys.
Yeah, that's fairly much a block pass. But is he going to come back at them as they go up to Barbecue? No, I think give Chicken Paxo a few corners. I think he'll be away. And interestingly, that's brought them back into the clutches of DB Kung, hasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, with them two battling, it was always going to bring in 4th place, wasn't it? Just while we have it, a mention on Banana Man made a really good pass on Rusty TJ. I need to make sure I get that round the right way. That was a couple of laps ago, but something I wanted to mention.
Yeah, we've just got Banana Man on screen now. There does seem to be a little bit of a pack here. The one who I'd noticed who's been doing quite well as Waterskin just keeps himself out of the way there. Oh, just as I've gone on to it, there was Ricardo O'Hall and Groot. Unfortunately, it looked like Groot Ricardo gave Groot a little bit of a love tap. And
missed it.
It was sort of it was a sort of dodger move. He sort of gave him a little bit of a tap, and he pushed Groot wide. I don't think it was intentional. I think he just got caught out on the brakes. Neither of them spun, but they are circulating still in the right direction. But what that has done is moved Groot back into the clutches, I think, of Banana Man.
Yorkshire Mika and Randy Fanchpants are having a good battle, and I think Mika has literally just made the overtake.
He has.
Yeah, just slightly too late. It was a good pass. I know it doesn't help the viewers, but it was a good pass.
Well, Randy, that drops Randy to 7, Yorkshire Mika up to 6. I did admit, you know, before we went live, we were talking about Yorkshire, or I was talking about Yorkshire Mika, who he just seemed to be a good, consistent driver. Not quite on the pace of the leaders, but not a million miles off, and he just seems to plug those lap away. And consistency is a big part of it, isn't it?
That's for sure, yeah. I mean, in these sprint races, you want to be putting in qualifying laps, as it were. Just while we're chatting, Rusty GT and Rusty TJ are having a bit of a battle, so that might be something to watch out for.
Guess who I put on the screen literally 2 seconds before you started that?
Oh, convenient.
Because I was running my eyes down, seeing that who's got a bit of a close battle going on. Because, as you say, that it's Rusty on Rusty, and I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure who is the nominal quickest out of these two.
I think it might be Rusty GT. He's reeling them in ever so slowly, but he's reeling them in.
And the other one reeling is Banana Man on Groot. He is all over the back of Groot after Ricardo and Groot had that little coming together.
Yeah, you're right.
So, and just behind, just behind him, we can see the Rusty battle. So it's great having so many cars on the track all the way down. The one who I think is out of position is De Silva, because we've seen some great performances from him this season, and he's down there at the moment 18th. I don't know if he had a problem at the start. And Groot goes wide at Murder Curb corner, and he's out on the gravel, and Banana Man is through. So that's Banana Man up to 9th, and Groot down to 10th, I'm afraid. So and now Groot's coming under attack from the Rusties.
So THG Mike just made a good move on Marge as well. Another There's too many overtakes. Everyone's too close together. Oh, have we had Ricardo Hall? I think just had a bit of a slide.
Let's have a look. He's still behind Randy Flangepants, who I would imagine, if we keep an eye on that gap between Ricardo and Randy, I think we'll find that closing up. And also, well, you see, Banana Man, I'm not quite sure where he qualified, but I think him and Ricardo are fairly quick, so we've got just under 5 minutes now of this first race remaining. They might catch Randy. I think Yorkshire Micker's away and gone.
Yeah, no, he is. I mean, 2.7 seconds. We'll keep an eye on that. I think between Micker and Chris Vidub, there's a drastic time difference.
Well, Vicente just was just 0.25 behind West Hill Racing. Unfortunately, I went on to Vicente and he was pointing the wrong direction. So I was hoping for a little bit of a battle there, but unfortunately it wasn't occurring. And we've just missed Rusty GT getting by Rusty TJ.
We always seem to miss them.
We do. If I would just love it if there was like a decent replay system on there like they used to have on GT Sport. I was able to work wonders with that. Unfortunately, we don't have the facility. I did try it on the replay once, and it just sent the whole continuity of everything up the creek. So all the cameramen went completely doolally. So we had to give that one up. But I think the battles we've got building up, I think Ricardo Hall is going to be having a go at Randy Flangepants, and I think Rusty GT is going to be having a good go at Groot.
Yeah, I think I'm going to stick with Ricardo Hall for the moment.
Yep, I'm with you on that one, because I think he's taking chunks, and they're just going across the next timeline. It says 1.1, but I think it's a lot less, yeah.
Yeah,
down to 3/4 of a second.
Look how quick he's coming through that corner.
Interesting his choice of car there, because we rarely see a Nissan in this series.
Oh yeah, it is, isn't it? Yeah,
so,
Nissan had a Honda in this one.
Yeah,
which is quite rare.
Mind you, when you get 18 cars, you'd hope you're going to get a fair mix.
Yeah, definitely.
So I'm going to take a brave pill and go on board with Ricardo, because it generally relies on an accident. So we're just swooping down here. I do love this track at night, because I believe it's Johannesburg you see all lit up in the distance. It gives them absolutely fantastic views.
Yeah, it's a good track to do at night.
I'll put me money on here on Ricardo putting a move on Randy at the first corner.
Well, let's see how they comes out of this corner. It's all down to the setup of that last corner.
Yeah, he's got a good exit on that, I think, Ricardo. We're sat on board with him at the moment, right under the rear wing of Randy Flangepants' blue and orange McLaren. We've just pulled out, we're heading down towards Crowthorne. There we go, Randy lets Ricardo through. Yeah, he didn't have anything to come back on that one, unfortunately.
No, he left the door wide open. I think that was a courtesy. You're quicker than me, just take it.
Oh, and he's just gone deep at barbecue, has Randy, but didn't run too far wide. So Ricardo is through there on Randy. I don't think he's going to get up to Yorkshire Micker, because we've only got 1.5 minutes left. So have we got anything? We've got Rusty GT on... just as we got on a Rusty GT, he went full Tokyo drift at that long right-hander after barbecue. He did manage to keep it between the walls, but I think that was Rusty TJ sniggering as he went past, and he's now got back in front. So whereas we thought, I thought Rusty GT was going to get up to 10th, but he's actually dropped back down to 12th now.
So we expected that Chicken Paxo was just going to pull away from Alex, but he's only 1.5 seconds behind, so he's not doing too bad.
Alex was, like I say, at last week he was particularly strong, so I was quite impressed with him there. That was his first time out with us, and he was really good at just sticking that pace. I think he had an odd strategy of pit stops at Spa. I think he went for a two-stop, which with that really long pit lane was quite painful for him.
Oh, it's the worst place to have two pit stops.
Banana Man on Randy Flangepants on the last lap into Crowthorne, the first corner. Banana Man trying to go right the way round the outside, but Randy is having none of it.
Yeah,
heading up towards Barbecue.
If we stick with this, I think he'll try and sling the move up in the last corner, if not before.
Yeah, and Randy going a little bit defensive there, but oh no, I think he's gone deep. Oh, no! Yeah, he went a little bit deep.
No, Banana Man.
Yeah, he caught the end of that that barrier there, didn't he? Oh, look at the front of that Mercedes. He's dropping positions hand over fist there. I think that's is that Rusty GT coming through?
Rusty TJ's right behind him now. It was Rusty GT that went through.
Okay, well, I've just jumped on with our leader, Denardi F1, as he comes up to cross the line. Qualified pole, pulled away, and has been untroubled for most of the race. And then second across the line, we've got Chicken Paxo, Alex Powell in the Bentley just behind him, DB Kung. They were very close together, and not a million miles off, the man with the controller, Chris V. Dub. That's a really impressive drive, I think. Yeah,
well done to Chris. He's done brilliantly.
So, Yorkshire Mika, just coming out of the last corner. Amazing how close these guys all are. He comes across in sixth. Ricardo Hall, great recovery. I think he was 16th or 17th at the end of the first lap. He's got up to 7th. Randy Flangepants with that mistake with Banana Man, he's up to 8th. Group through in 9th, and then Rusty GT rounding out the top 10. Banana Man could only recover to 11th after that last lap spin, so he'll be looking to drop that as his score tonight. Marge, we didn't really see anything to Marge tonight, but he's just come through in 13th.
Yeah.
And Mike 65, he's come through in 14th. I've never gone through so many drivers. And then De Silva, a little bit of a quiet race for De Silva tonight. It's his first race of the evening. He's come through in 15th. And I've got a bit of a breather because we've got we've got a battle here. West Hill Racing and Vicente into the last corner are still battling for 16th place. Go for it. The Bentley's gone deep. The Bentley's gone deep and Vicente's through, so Vicente gets up to 16th, West Hill down to 17th. Fantastic stuff there, even on the last lap. And Waterskin's pulled into the pits on the last lap.
Yeah, I think he's given up the ghost. I mean, hats off to De Silva, who started almost half a lap off of the other guys. And what did I say? On the last lap, on the last corner, that's where you'll see the move done. Unfortunately for West Hill Racing, he's the loser in that battle, but well done to him.
Yeah, it was good to, they stuck with it right to the end, and to see a battle there, they're still fighting over 16th place on the last corner. I think that's fantastic stuff.
Yeah, very much.
So, who did you say that was going to win race 1?
Yeah, I mean, Ben and Alex got it caught up in a battle, so that's my race driver's excuse there for why Paxo didn't win. But give him his dues, he did come second.
Yeah. And the other interesting, unless I'm very much mistaken, the top 17 are all on the lead lap.
Yeah, it was
Vicente and West Hill, because there's 23-second gap there, but you just having a quick fag packet in my head. I don't think we're far off that one.
No, I don't think so.
So that's quite interesting. They've actually kept that tight. It's only we're only getting the double figures of gaps when we get down to Mike in 14th place.
Yeah, no, you're right. It was quite a tight-knit race, wasn't it?
40, 50, 60, 65, 70. So I think top 17 all on the lead lap. And I know it's only a 20-minute race, but that's still pretty good.
Especially considering you've got amateurs at least in terms of what the game classes as amateurs. So they've done really well. All the new guys that I've not seen race before, all did really well.
Well, the other thing is interesting. For those at home, the numbers in red are the amateur. The ones in silver are silver drivers, and the ones in white are the highest ranking drivers. And it's more or less shaken out into that order at with the result of the race.
Yeah. Other than De Silva, who like I said started half a lap behind. Yeah, we're pretty close, aren't we?
Well, I think you've got a driver to talk to here, then.
Yeah, Ben.
Hello.
I don't know if you heard, but I put money on you to win.
Oh, no chance. Dan has spent a lot of time getting his setup right for this, and he's absolutely on fire. So he's definitely the man to beat.
Yeah, for sure. Do you think you're going to make any changes to the setup? You seem to do really well, all things considered.
That Bentley was so fast in the straight line. I got out the last corner side by side with him. He's just driven away from me. I was like, that's not fair. What's going on? I'm going to try the next qualifying. I think strip a little bit of rear wing out, see if we get a bit more straight line speed. But I seem to get a bit more grip and a bit more drive out of some of the corners. So it might be something that gets reverted back to where I am now. But we'll see how we go with it.
Go Dan.
Sorry to interrupt. I noticed on the last few laps you did start to slow down a bit. Were you having problems with tyres?
There's no point pushing at that point. I wasn't going to catch Dan, trying not to make any mistakes, and ironically enough was probably making more mistakes than had I just been going flat out. So just trying to bring it home for second place. I was never going to catch Dan.
Sure.
I think with these races as well, your best two out of the three races count as well. So no point trying to bin it, because it might be one of the better races for the evening.
Yeah, for sure.
The question I was going to come up with: did you see what happened at turn 2? Because it's a good old race club routine. You all got round the first corner, and we were congratulating you on how well everyone had gone through cleanly. And before we know it, we saw dust and cars pointing the wrong direction at turn 2.
No, I was close to the Nissan. I think it's Ricardo. I was close to him. I was alongside him, and all of a sudden I heard a bump, and next thing I know, in my rearview mirror I see a couple of cars who are sideways, and I'm thinking, okay, is there another one lurking somewhere that's going to hit me? And luckily there wasn't. No, so I didn't really see a huge amount. I think someone got bumped at the back to spin someone. So she said usual carnage of get yourself through turn 1, congratulate yourself, and forget there's probably more corners coming up as well.
Well, Ricardo was particularly quick. I don't know if you know, he dropped down, I think, to about 17th and managed to finish 7th. So he's got some significant pace. He
seems absolutely rapid, and it's unusual to see someone rapid in a Nissan as well. So fair play to him. Fair play. Yeah,
that was our comment. It's not usually a weapon of choice. Is there any reason people tend to avoid it?
When I drove it before we did a Japanese sort of mini event a couple of seasons ago, I've just found it very peaky in terms of the power. Like it seemed to come in one great big lump rather than sort of being able to feed it in gently. It just like ram, bam, thank you, man, off you go.
Okay, and on a technical point, is the second qualifying going to start anytime soon?
It should do. I'm just looking through the server. It should be starting anytime soon. I'm just looking at trying to check the server settings now, and it should be a couple of minutes. But unless it's had a hissy fit at us, which is quite possible.
That was all I was saying. It seems to have been quite a long while since everyone was parked up.
Yeah.
All the racers have got out of their cars and they're congratulating each other, I think, is what's happened.
Quite possibly, yeah. I'm not sure. I'll have to have a look. I'll have to get back to you on that one.
Okay, well, unless you got anything else, Dan, shall we let the man go and give the server a kick?
Yeah, I think he needs to go give race control a bit of a kicking, doesn't he?
Give it a bit of a slap, yeah. No worries, guys. Well, I will speak to you after the next race.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Take care, guys. See you later.
Cheers, Ben.
And that was driver Chicken Paxo, who finished second in race 1. So we've got the same again for you twice over. Next race is a daytime race. and then the final race will be starting at 9 p.m, so it will be headlights on. So hopefully this is going to fix itself in a minute, because we've got a fantastic set of drivers, or numbers of drivers at least, and obviously fantastic drivers, and at the moment there's nothing they can do.
There's not really much to talk about when they're all sat in a line, isn't it?
It is a bit of a problem, and I don't quite know how the servering or however you describe it works, but it does seem to be. Is it because Waterskin hasn't crossed the finishing line?
Oh, do you know what? I have a feeling you're right. He's technically not finished the race because he pulled in, didn't he?
Mm.
I think this may be something that we need to alert Ben about. So I am just going to send a quick message to Ben just to let him know what we've found. Did you want to send a message to the group?
I can, because is he actually returned to the pits or not, or they just think he's in for a pit stop?
I think he might just be. I don't know whether he actually crossed the line.
No, hang on, I've just seen a. No, that's a different one.
I've just messaged Ben to say I don't think he's finished. I don't suppose he's in the chat, is he?
Oh.
I think he needs to drive.
Somebody's off.
Is that it? He's decided he's going.
That's a it's a Bentley that we're waiting to finish the race.
No, that's an Aston. It's an Aston that we're looking at.
So we need
the Aston is what we're looking for to finish. So.
Oh, there's another car just leaving. Hang on.
Yeah, they've all given up.
Well, I've posted in the group chat, so hopefully, because he pulled into the pits at the end of. Oh, everybody's going out. Are they all leaving to hope that
something might happen?
Hang on, Waterskin.
So here he goes.
Waterskin is off down the start-finish line. He may need to go around and do another lap. So bear with us, viewers. It's all got a bit pear-shaped at the moment. Oh, we've got Ben with us. Hopefully he's been able to broadcast and everyone can hear him.
Right, hold on.
Let me just see. You keep talking and we'll have a listen. Yeah, well, we had suspicions it was Waterskin because he drove into the pits at the end of the last lap and hasn't crossed the line, so his is showing green at the moment. So, but he's just returned to the pits and he's still showing as green.
Unfortunately, we can't actually hear you. Yeah, I think there was some settings that were posted into the group, but it may have been before you joined.
It might be a case that I know viewers at home can't hear Ben, but if you can hear, oh, hello, we're off. Qualifying 2 is happening. It obviously gave up and had enough. Oh, Rusty GT's joined the party, but depends what your settings are, Rusty, is whether the public at large can hear you.
Good evening, chaps. Yeah, I think I have, so we'll give it a go. Let's see what we can do in qualifying.
You have. I can hear you live, so
Excellent.
You had a bit of an up and a downer in the first race by the look of it.
Yeah, I think it was more wreck-fest than it was a Assetto Corsa on the first lap, but you know, it is what it is. Just try and do a better race too, I suppose.
Well, it's an age-old thing with Race Club. Everyone sort of seemed to congratulate themselves that they got through the first corner without hassle. And then the second corner turned up and it was all a bit of a surprise, and before we knew it there was sort of crunching metal and cars in gravel. Yeah,
well, I mean, we had quite a good start, to be honest. Just sort of managed to sort of keep tidy, and then, yeah, all of a sudden we had the Strongbow arrow come through me, but yeah, there we go.
Shadunk, and that was it. So,
Yeah.
Josh, where did you start qualifying the race one?
6, I believe.
Oh, okay. So you're hoping for more of the same this time round?
Yeah, as I will put that race 1 to the back and see what we'll do in race 2.
Okay, I guess we better let you go, otherwise you're not going to get a qualifying lap in.
Yeah, no, that's all right. I'll speak to you soon.
Okay, cheers.
Good luck.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
And that was Rusty GT, who had a bit of an up and downer in race 1. Good qualifying, and then there was various kerfuffles. Was battling his teammate Rusty TJ, and then I think he had a little bit of an adventure towards the end. Oh,
Yeah,
and just
he's just gone into the wall, so I think he's too busy trying to talk to us, I think.
right. And Waterskin was just caught out by Murder Curb. He was a little bit airborne there, so let's have a look. We should have drivers putting lap times in, I guess. Who's out in the front there at the moment? 55, that's De Silva, isn't it? Yeah. So I think De Silva's leading the charge to put lap times in.
Right.
Because with the, what's this, about 1 minute 40 in the bit, so they're going to be nearly 3.5 minutes in before they even get 1 lap time in, even if they catapult themselves out of the pits at the start.
Yeah. Yeah. So just trying to see qualifying.
Well, De Silva is the first one out of the box as far as I can see at the moment, and assuming he doesn't exceed track limits, he should be the first one to put a lap time in.
So he is, I've just found him.
Interestingly, Chicken Paxo has only just left the pits. Now, whether he's done that on purpose to try and find a bit of a gap, because the rest of the field, despite having all this tarmac to play with, have got themselves all bunched really one side of the track.
Yeah, I did wonder when they all started shooting out of the pit lane whether that was a good idea or not. But we'll see.
And it looks like Chicken Paxo's pulled over at the end of the pit lane as well.
Marge has gone off as well, whether he's given himself some room or not.
So here we go. De Silva coming round the last left-hander, scampering his way towards the finish line. And does he put a lap time in? Yes, he does. 1:43.8. So that will certainly improve his start over the first race of the night. So
yeah, well, I think he joined a little bit late and didn't get into qualifying. I think that's the reason why.
Oh, okay. So Mike 65's just gone across. He's a little bit off the pace there, as is Waterskin. Rusty TJ 1.8 off there. Who have we got? Oh, we're going to have a right race of them coming across now, aren't we? So
yeah.
Alex Powell, I don't. That's not a particularly good time. Is Alex? He's at nearly 1:46 there.
Yeah, that's. I think maybe he's hit traffic or something, because that's not what I was expecting from him. Same with Donardi actually as well. He's a little bit slower than I was expecting.
They were down in the high 141s, early 142s in first qualifying. So I think we're a little bit later, because I think the first one was sort of more midday, and this one's a little bit later. So track conditions may not be quite as good.
Well, the track conditions are still 31 degrees with an ambient of 25. The track itself is optimum, so I should be expecting to see those low 141s, 142s.
So somebody else who's out of position, I've just noticed, is hopefully when the cameraman catches up. Yeah, he's over there on the right, cameraman. Yep, the blue one is DB Kung in the Mercedes. He's down in 9th at the moment, slowest bar one of the drivers who have put a time in.
Yeah, I've just seen Chicken Paxo across the line, and he's not even put a lap time in, so I think he's gone off somewhere there.
That was his out lap.
You sure?
Yeah, he left the pits really late.
Yeah, but he should still have got. Okay.
Yeah, it was literally because he stopped at the end of the pit lane, and then because that was to get himself, I think, out of sync with all the others. So who have we got? Look, oh, De Silva 1:42.8. He's gone a lot quicker. So let's see if Donardi, currently in second, can do anything about that. Oh, hello. Oh, Banana Man has. He's up into second, and now Donardi's up into second. A real battle up the top here. DB Kung, he took my advice. Very rarely do drivers do. He's got himself up into fourth. Chris V Dub up on the front of the third row. He's there in fifth at the moment. And Marge, who didn't have a particularly exciting first race, he's there on the third row with Chris V Dub at the moment in sixth place.
Yeah, just on board with Donardi at the moment, trying to understand where he's maybe losing some time, and even this lap he's not getting. He's still sort of 600-700ths off his best time, so still all to play for here, I think.
I'm just watching Chicken Paxo cross the line, and he just left it a second late because he crossed the line. He's got a qualifying time in, but he's got the checkered flag, so
it's not going to be good enough.
Well, he's currently third, so De Silva's decided that's all he's got. He's gone to the pits, so it's down to Donardi and Banana Man to do something about that current pole position time of De Silva, and Banana Man's getting himself in all sorts of traffic down by Murder Curb, and he's run off the track, so that's the end of his qualifying. So Donardi, he's going to be the next one up. I can't believe these. Yeah. It's like Monza F1. They're all the cars are tripping over each other.
3 temps up, 2 temps up. He's gone down to a 10th,
and he's got it.
I think he could have been quicker.
Yeah, Randy Flangepan's left the party. That's the message that's blocking me out. Donardi got pole there by 0.033 of a second, 3/100ths.
Yeah, I think he was lucky to scrape that one. Who else we got going out? I think that's it. We're done.
It's all done. But the interesting one I noticed in there is Ricardo Hall in that Nissan had that really great first qualifying, and then made that great comeback from further down. But he's only qualified 9th this time, nearly 2 seconds off pole.
Yes, yeah, it's true. But I mean, if you look at the top 10 are separated by 2 seconds, but interestingly, the top 7 are separated by a second. So that's not bad at all, really. It's still really tight all up at the top there. And even all the way through, we're only 3 seconds down to 15th place.
Look who's in 15th though.
Yeah, I don't think he's had a good couple of. He's not had a good qualifying, that's for sure.
Yeah, he was so feisty in that first race, but he's down. He's going to be trying to work his way forward. Ricardo Hall, I think he'll be trying to work his way forward, but he's in that dangerous middle pack area, isn't he? Which you're just so vulnerable to, just getting caught out with that first lap sort of incidents and so on. And we've got somebody stuck out on the track at the moment. I'm trying to see who it is.
Unfortunately I can't see.
I'm not sure. It's not showing me anyone. Well, I think they must have crossed the line.
I'm seeing them all in the pits at the moment.
Yeah, I'm seeing them all. There's one car working its way around slowly. It looks like 22. It should be Waterskin. Yeah, Waterskin's working.
Yeah, he's still to come in.
But it's showing that he's crossed the line, checkered flag, so it should flick over to the racing, shouldn't it?
I would have thought so. There should be a sort of 30-second delay between the start of the race and the end of qualifying. Is he coming in? No,
as he's crossed the line, it should be or just returning to the pits. I notice there's some drivers there that are still showing green. So
I think that's because they pulled into the pits beforehand.
So it should still flick over, shouldn't it? Don't know. We've got a bit of a glitch going on tonight. I'm not quite sure. We'll have to complain to Ben, but I think Waterskin is just coming back to the pits. So hopefully this might fix things. I believe he will be coming into the pits. He's coming into the pits. There we go. We're off. Yay! So I'll let you go first because you got it wrong last time. Not that I'd like to sort of rely on that point. Where's your betting for race 2? Because we have the same pole person.
I love an underdog story. I'm going for De Silva this time. He's my man this time. I think he can do it.
Well, it's sort of 0 to hero again in some ways because he, as you say, turned up late, didn't qualify. I think almost had to start from the pit lane, and so didn't have the greatest first race. But he's certainly back with a bang, and it looks like he's got the pace of Donardi as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think the 3 McLarens at the front. Well, here's the interesting thing because Donardi and Paxo are actually teammates, aren't they? If I remember rightly.
They are.
So
yep.
Will they play a game to try and get De Silva out of that position? I think that's the question we're going to have to ask ourselves.
That's an interesting one. I don't. Yeah, they do tend to battle quite hard between them. And,
but that's when they're on their own, though. That's when they're on their own, not when they've got other people around them.
Yeah, okay, I see where you're coming from. Fair point. Yeah, yeah, I don't...
30 seconds.
So another interesting thing that we need to factor in here is the race is later, so the track temperature is actually coming down.
Yep.
So hopefully the guys have factored that in with their tyre pressures.
Well, I've seen the comment that Yorkshire Mika hadn't noticed the last race was in the dark and hasn't done anything about his tyre pressures.
10 seconds.
Yeah. Dropping a few PSI, I think he'll be okay.
Yeah, he should be fine. I think.
No, sorry, not dropping, increasing PSI. Yeah, don't drop it, God's sake.
Yeah, you're supposed to be the tech man.
Yeah, it's too much tech stuff I've been doing recently. I've been doing a lot of data analysis for my team, so I'm all dated out. If you could believe it.
Well, it looks certainly at the moment that the McLaren is the weapon of choice because the top 3 positions are McLaren, and then 3 of the next 4 are Mercedes. So there must be something in that.
Yeah, yeah, the Mercedes. I think the Mercedes is always a safe choice, no matter what track you're on. The McLaren, I think, especially when I had it, could be a bit temperamental depending on the track. So this just must be a good track for it.
Well, I tried the Mercedes up for half a season after the Lexus, and I had a nightmare with it because it was down to the fact that the people going quick were driving the Mercedes. So I went, right, I'll have one of them then. I just couldn't get on with it, and I'm still years on, still stuck with the Lexus because that seems to be the only thing I can get my head round and have a balance with. I think it's because I haven't got someone like you that can do all the engineering stuff.
Well, maybe that's the case. I think any driver can drive any car as long as it's set up for him, and that you can't just take somebody else's setup and run straight out of the box. So you tend to find people will gravitate towards a certain car because it naturally fits their driving style.
Well, in the free practice last week at Spa, I did actually go out and do a few laps because, one, I love Spa and it's a circuit I seem to be able to get around fairly well, and the other thing is I've got a Coach Dave setup that someone let me have.
Oh, they're good setups, those.
They are.
They still need a little bit of tweaking, but they're reasonably good.
I wasn't going to mess with it. I think I shoved the time in that was about 4th on the grid, and then just walked away. But the one thing I noticed is that with these cars you get very adjustable traction control, and with that Coach Dave setup, normally with the regular setups I was like 5 or 6 out of 8 on the traction control. With that one I'm 3 and got no problems at all.
Yeah, I think 3 is always a safe bet. I mean, you need some. Some people try and go without any traction control at all, and I think that's a little bit silly. I normally stick to 2, 3 for the traction control and the ABS, and adjust on the fly if I feel I need it.
Yeah, well, to be honest, I just used that setup and just wrung its neck. And there was like, what the heck? Yeah, well, hang on, where did that time come from? So, I'd say those setups, I did. I've got one for a couple of other tracks, and I was amazed how good they were. And talking of setups, we are getting set up for the start of race 2. They're coming out of the final corner. They're getting themselves lined up. We're looking for those red lights in the distance to turn green, which they are going to do now. And we are away. Donardi away from pole again. But it looks like De Silva's already got the jump on him. And Chicken Paxo tucking under Donardi's rear wing and having a look. Chicken Paxo trying to go down the inside at Crowthorne into turn 1. Are the teammates going to take each other out?
No, loads of room. I'm on board with Banana Man at the moment, watching the 3 ahead, and yeah, they give themselves plenty of room.
It did look like a little bit tight back there with Chris V. Dunn's arm, but it does look like... Oh! And I think that was that group or someone there was sideways, and I'm not quite sure who picked him up. Someone got a bit loose coming out of Barbecue Corner. We'll see as they work their way down. I think it might have been Rusty TJ. Yes, it is Rusty TJ just recovering there onto the grid, and
Waterskin's in that pack as well.
Yeah, I think Waterskin is just recovering as well. Yeah, they're at the back there. So let's head back up to the front where De Silva has snatched the lead, but he has got McLaren's in both his mirrors, and just a little bit further away he has got Mercedes as well.
Yeah, he's going very, very defensive, understandably with 2 teammates behind you.
He is, and it looks like Donardi has pulled away a little bit from Chicken Paxo, and in the back, Banana Man, who hasn't had the battles that he had in the first race, trying to get round lap 1 without incidents. He's hanging on to the battle. Oh, there we go.
Ben's gone wide.
Yep, we saw him just go wide. That was Murder Curve Corner, and he's lost position now. He's dropped behind, or he dropped 2. He dropped behind Banana Man, and he's dropped behind Chris V. Dub. And Donardi's lining up a move on De Silva as they head down through the kink towards Crowthorne. And De Silva's elbowed his way out. Yeah, he's elbowed him out, isn't he? Oh! Looks like Donardi's trying to go the long way round, and he's made it stick. Look at that.
I can't believe that move come off.
Oh!
That should not have happened.
And Banana Man's just run a bit wide there as they go into Barbecue. Lost a lot of momentum, and he's falling back into the clutches, I think, of Rusty GT.
Yeah, it's pulled Paxo back up to Chris V-Dub now, who, can I say, is doing a fantastic job.
He's up there fighting with the big boys, isn't he? And just getting a little bit sideways there, but yeah, he's up there, Chris V-Dub, on a hand controller in 3rd place at the moment. So incredible driving there. So I'm just going to move back to our trackside setup. So some great aerial shots there I was experimenting with, and that was really good because it gave us a good view of all the action there as we completed lap 1. We've got a couple of guys in the... Oh, Alex Powell's in the pits. That's unfortunate. He must have had a bit of an incident there. And Rusty TJ, we did see have the incident. So unfortunately they're in there either retiring from this race or deciding to get the cars repaired.
He's got the car repaired. He's coming back out. Him and Rusty TJ have just come out now.
I'd love to be in Chicken Paxo's car because he's going, I've got to get by this guy in front, Chris V-Dub, in that Porsche, because he's using a hand controller.
Yeah, Chris ain't making it easier for him though, is he?
No, not at all. And also, just in the background there, 6th place, Ricardo Hall has got his way back up. I think he was down about 8th or 9th, wasn't he? He didn't have the greatest qualifying.
Well, hopefully with these guys battling, it'll bring him into contention.
Yeah, it does seem there's a little gap there I can see developing. Oh yeah, everybody's back out. Alex Powell's got his car repaired and he's out on the track again. Does look like Chris V-Dub there in that Golf livery Porsche is a little bit of a cork in the bottle for Paxo and Banana Man behind him, but it's for position, so he's entitled to hang on to it, isn't he?
Yeah, definitely. I wouldn't give that place up.
I certainly wouldn't.
That's a podium spot right there. What he needs to do now, though, is not try and focus on Ben behind him, but try and push on to De Silva, because they're starting to get away now.
I'm just trying to find a reverse shot, which I can't. There we go. I've got the front shots and the reverse shots. I didn't send anybody batty at home as I flicked through all the various shots there. But we are on board with Chicken Paxo at the moment, looking back towards Banana Man in the Mercedes, and then we look forward, we've got Chris Dub in front, so we're right in the middle of the action here. I'm not sure whether we're going to attack the car that's in front of us, or whether the car behind us is going to attack. So it all looks a bit tight, but we're keeping up remarkably tight with the leaders here.
Definitely. I mean, Chris Dub's pulled it back to within a second now, so I think De Silva's slowing down. Donardi, now that he's been released, is, you know, showing
here we go.
pace.
Sorry to cut across. Chicken Paxo down the inside of Chris Dub at the first corner, and it looks like they just brushed panels there, but as they head up towards Barbecue, it looks like Chicken Paxo's got the move done, so that's him up into third, and Chris Dub down to fourth now, so Chris Dub is now going to be battling Banana Man.
Yeah. I mean, Paxo was going to get past eventually.
Oh, Banana Man's gone wide. He's gone wide across the gravel. He was obviously
that's going to bring DB Kung into contention now.
Yeah, it's he just went just a little bit deep on the brakes there. I don't think he was particularly taking avoidant action, sort of out braking himself or anything like that, but he just caught himself out on the brakes there and went across the gravel. So that's given Chris Dub a little bit of breathing space.
Yeah, you got Paxo's now right up on the gearbox of De Silva. I can't see it being too long before he makes the pass.
Yeah, he's caught him up really quickly, isn't he?
Yeah, he's pretty much nudging him down the road now. I wonder if De Silva's got mechanical problems or anything, because he seems to have slowed right up.
Or maybe
I mean, within a lap, he's sort of a second and a half slower.
Well, the other thing, maybe he's made a little mistake, but the other thing is maybe he hasn't got his tyre pressures quite right.
That's possible. He might have gone too high and now he's roasting them.
Here we go. De Silva's going defensive as they head up towards Crowthorne. Chicken Paxo pulling out, trying to go right round the outside, or is he going to do the switchback?
Yeah.
I don't think he's quite got the speed there. Oh, he's going to go for it at Barbecue. He's going down the inside, and they've come together.
Oh.
And De Silva's got away with it. And the winner in all of that was Chris Dub, who slid up the inside really neatly. And Chris Dub's right on the back of De Silva again. Oh, Chris Dub's going for it.
Yeah, that was a bit of a brave move, I think.
Yeah, I think the ambition was higher than the adhesion on that particular attempt.
Yeah, for sure. I do want to say good sportsmanship from Ben there by backing off and making sure De Silva didn't spin out there, because he could have easily just carried on with the throttle and spun him.
Oh, and Chicken Paxo trying to go around the outside of Chris Dub there at the hairpin, and he can't make it stick. So Chris Dub hanging on in there yet again. I'm going to go to our aerial camera, because I think we need to... Excuse me while the cameraman sorts his life out.
Oh no!
Whoa! What happened there?
Ben, that was terrible choice.
That was carnage.
He's just overshot. He completely missed the braking point.
Oh, I think Banana Man got a bit... He sort of seemed to miss his braking point, slide too far. I think he took out De Silva, and I think Banana Man sort of got caught in that as well.
Yeah, so by the looks of it, Chris Dub's the one that's come out on top on that one.
Just a bit.
DB Kung's come through. Yeah, I didn't see what happened to Banana Man. I only saw what happened to De Silva.
I think there was an element of he saw sort of, you take that avoiding action and sometimes it catches you out. So but he's not come out that way. He's dropped down, he's back behind De Silva as well. But look at the other winner in all of that, who could be on for a podium, is Ricciardo.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I didn't even realise he was sneaking up that close.
Well, they're all tripping over each other, aren't they? And that's one of the reasons that's helped Chris V-Dub up to second. But Ricciardo's coming with a fair bit of pace, and we know DB Kung's got good pace as well. But the one that is absolutely flying is Chris V-Dub. Now, I shouldn't wish ill of other drivers, but wouldn't it be fantastic to see Donardi to have a crash and Chris V-Dub to win?
I mean, I don't wish that on anyone, but it'd be really nice to see Chris win. I mean, fair play. He's on pace for a podium, so. And I'm going to switch off from his camera now because I don't want to jinx him.
Well, we're just halfway into this 20-minute race, and this race is our second one of the evening. So we've got one more to come after this, where we will be starting at 9 PM at night. So it's going to be a little bit darker, and hopefully that will shake up the action again.
That will make our lives difficult though, because we won't be able to see most of the black covered cars.
Which car's that one? It's the one with the headlights on. So I feel we were ignoring the ones further down, but everyone, I'm just whizzing my eyes down the list, and everyone is fairly spread out. So we will stick with this battle up at the front at the moment. Chris V-Dub still in that golf coloured Porsche, doing a fantastic job of holding off DB Kung, and Ricardo Hall there in the grey Nissan, just waiting in the wings there with the possibility of a podium.
Yeah, I think it's a safe bet from Ricardo there to hold fire, let these guys wear themselves out, wear their tyres out, and then make the move. Oh no, he's gone wide.
But he got away with it, just bounced across the grass. But did you notice in the background there from Ricardo, coming is De Silva and Banana Man, and we've just on 8.5 minutes to go. I think we're going to see those guys close up, and we should have a pack of 5 here battling for second position.
Yeah, I think Chris is, like you said earlier, Chris has become the bottleneck, hasn't he?
He has, but he's making that Porsche boatly wide, and on the back of that, he's keeping those guys behind in it, and importantly, he's being consistent. He's not making mistakes. God, if this isn't a commentator's curse, I don't know what is.
Oh, that was close. That was close.
It did look like DB Kung in the blue Mercedes there was looking to have a go up the inside, but couldn't quite make it happen.
Yeah, well done to DB Kung there for being able to back out of that one, because that was close. That
is that horrible moment there where you think, I've got my foot on the brake, so there's nothing I can do about
Nothing's happening. Yeah. You're a passenger at that point, aren't you?
So, is DB Kung going to have a go in the first corner? Oh, I thought he was going to have a launch there down the inside at Crowthorne, but decides better off it, and Chris V-Dub still hangs on to second with DB Kung in third.
Yeah, Chris is doing an amazing job.
Well, it looks like De Silva and Banana Man are taking about 0.3, 0.4 out of this battle every lap, so I think they're going to need to up that pace to be able to catch these. And it also looks like Chris V-Dub and DB Cook are easing away a little bit from Ricardo there, I would say.
Yeah, gap's dropped to about a second. It's kind of fluctuating, concertina in every so often, so I wouldn't rule him out.
And a bit loath to look away from this battle for the lead, but I will quickly, because down in 8th, 9th and 10th we've got Groot, Rusty and Mike 65 all running particularly close together, particularly Rusty on the back of Groot, and I think they were fairly close to each other first time round, weren't they? So,
yeah, so I can see Rusty now right on the gearbox, wasn't he?
And in the background there is that Mike 65.
Yes, Mike.
He's gone all rallycross.
He's back in a straight line now though, but I think he's really struggling with those rear tyres.
Yeah, and he's just coming under attack now from Marge, who seems to be having a particularly quiet evening. Marge, I thought, qualified quite well, but he's currently running down there in 11th as he looks to dive down the inside there. Has he got
Very
the
good
move
pass.
done?
Yeah, he's got that done.
But it's this next corner they're coming up to. Is that curve on the inside is the nightmare, isn't it?
Yeah, both of them going a little bit wider there than you'd like.
So I'm going to pop back up to this battle for second. We're coming down to just 5.5 minutes to go. And Chris V Dub is still fending off DB Kung and Ricardo Hall here. But I can still see De Silva in the background with Banana Man in the yellow Mercedes just behind him, lurking and just seem to be catching up just a little bit. They've got 2-second gap now. I think they're really going to have to wind it on to get close to the back of this second place battle.
Yeah, time's going on now. You know, they've got to catch up and then make the pass. So hopefully they get a little bit closer.
Yeah, if we make this a 5-way battle, wouldn't that be fantastic? But,
It'd be nice to round this out.
Yeah, looks like DB Kung was just getting a little bit of a run down the inside there of
he had
Chris
to
V
back
Dub.
out.
Yep.
He had to back out of it.
So where is our leader at the moment? He is Donati. He is coming round.
He's coming up
corner.
to lap Rusty TJ.
Yeah, so he's just coming around the last corner there. Now he's got 3 laps remaining, I reckon. So Chris V Dub has just got to fend these guys off for 3 more laps. I love the marshal optimistically waving the blue flag there, like one of these guys is going to move over.
Yeah, I think that was for Rusty TJ when Donati come up on him, but I think they were carrying on waving.
Oh! Did he catch it? Yes, he did. That was Chris V Dub getting all sideways there in the first corner. Maybe struggling with the tyres on that Porsche, do you think?
Oh, I don't know. It seemed like a bit of a rare error from him actually. If anything, I'd say that Ricardo Hall's struggling for grip, but I don't know. Let's stay with this battle.
Oh yeah, I daren't move away. I'm keeping my eye out further down the grid, and sorry guys that I'm not looking at you a bit closer. And those chicken packs there after that calamity just before Murder Curve, he's still down there in 14th. It's actually shown. No, it's just the timing catching up with itself. And Randy Flangepants, I don't quite know. I think didn't qualify too bad. He's down there in 12th at the moment. Oh, actually, look, DB Kung's falling back into the grips of Ricardo here. So this is giving Chris V Dub a little bit of a get out of jail free card, I think. Yeah,
I mean, I think he'd Ricardo would be a bit brave to make a move there, but
it is bringing De Silva and Banana Man into this battle in the background.
Yeah, we did say that was probably going to happen.
Look at this 5-car train for second place with now just 2 laps to go as they complete lap 10. It's going to be tight. Chris V Dub's got himself a little bit of breathing space there, but in the background there it looks like De Silva and Banana Man having a little bit of a battle. De Silva going defensive,
trying to go around the outside.
Yeah, there's a long way around there, and I don't think he's got the oomph to do it in that green Mercedes.
No, unfortunately not. He'll have to try and make a move coming out of this corner.
Well, he'd be better to tuck in behind De Silva and get themselves up to the back of that pack in front, and then maybe have a bit of a battle.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more.
So about a lap and a half to go. We should be sort of impartial in the commentary box, but it'll be so great for Chris V Dub to be up there on second place. I think he might sort of pull out the evening and just put his feet up and say, "Well, that's it, I've peaked."
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, I'd be celebrating with a beer in his lorry with him if I could.
And maybe he needs to buy Chicken Paxo a beer as well, because it was his incident that gave him that position. He had to be close enough for it to work for him. But
yeah, for sure.
Here he goes, coming up towards Murder Curb, and it's that curb on the inside. If you just get it wrong, it will find you out all over the place.
I noticed a lot of drivers are now pushing wide, completely avoiding that apex totally. So Yeah, you can see Fear. He's now starting to force him to drive a little bit wider on that corner.
And looking back, excuse me, I'll just stick with DB Kung and Chris V Dub into the first corner. I thought DB Kung was going to go for it in the blue Merc, but he thinks better of it. So Chris V Dub still hanging on there, second place. But behind those two, look at this battle for 4th, 5th and 6th, because Ricardo has been caught by De Silva and Banana Man. So look at we all 5 from 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th are all on screen at one time after 20 minutes of racing. Absolutely fantastic stuff.
Yeah, they're literally nose to tail now, aren't they?
They are. It looks like Banana Man's just dropped off the back of that a little bit, but Chris V Dub still with a little bit of a cork in the bottle to DB Kung, but he is hanging on there as they go down through the S's for the last time, heading up towards the hairpin. He's got very few corners left to go, has Chris V Dub to hang on for a meteoric setting place here at Kyalami.
I feel like I'm holding my breath for him now.
And the other thing, don't forget, this is only 2nd and 3rd races, so we've got another one to come after this, so the excitement isn't over yet. But I'm just going to risk it and quickly go to Donati, who is coming across the line. Another lights to flag win. That's a perfect score so far tonight. Maybe he timed it, he could sort of hang up his driving gloves for the evening. But here we go in 2nd place, and this is going to be like a machine gun as they go across the line. Oh, and that was Ricardo Hall in the background spinning, but Chris V Dub in 2nd, DB Kung in 3rd, and then De Silva in 4th. Ricardo Hall recovers to 5th, Banana Man in 6th, and that is your top 6 across the line already. Yorkshire Micker coming through in 7th with the Bentley. Rusty GT, who we heard from just before this race, he comes to the finishing line in the Mercedes. He's there in 8th. And then Group comes across in 9th in the Audi, and then Randy Flangepants coming across in 10th. Alex Powell, West Hill Racing, Rusty TJ and Waterskin have already crossed the line there, 15th to 18th. So Randy Flangepants as the fireworks go off in the background. And then Mike 65, he's 11th, or is he? Because he's getting attacked by Marge there. But he hung onto it. He hung onto it. Marge ended up in 12th. So Vicenti...
Did you see the timing difference though?
0.
0, 0, 0.
Fantastic. And Vicenti up there in 13th after a very sorry first race. And Chicken Paxo comes through in 14th. So that was a bit breathless, wasn't it, Dan?
Well, I have to say, if you look at the ranks now compared to where they were, you notice how those amateurs have started to split out a little bit.
Oh, most definitely. And we'll ignore Banana Man because he's reset his whatever profile, so that's why he's showing as an amateur, because there's no way I would consider that he is an amateur. But yeah, there's a real mix-up of colours there, and people like Alex Powell had that incident on the first lap, so he's ended up down in 15th, and same with Chicken Paxo with his rather unusual attack of that right-hander. Oh, and hopefully I don't know if his voice will share. If it's set up, it will be fantastic.
I tell you what, I'll ask a couple of questions if you don't mind, and if you want to check, see whether we can hear him.
Yep, I'm on it.
But first of all, I'm just going to go to the race winner. So, Donati, you there? Can I hear you?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. It's just whether everyone else can hear you.
Hopefully.
We can hear Donati.
Awesome, okay. Right. Donati, how was that?
It was good fun. I got into a bit of a groove. I did
yeah, for sure.
Low 42s was going around at, which was like 7 or 8 tenths faster than my qualifying time.
So, just thoughts into the first corner. Obviously, De Silva managed to get the jump on you right off the lights. What was your thoughts going into that first corner?
Well, I messed up the start. You know when you kind of get that thing where you need to position it, and then you see the other cars ahead, and you kind of get level. I then kind of got my timing wrong for when the lights went out, so a little bit slow on start. And then Chicken Paxo was kind of trying to have a go at a move into turn one as well, so I saw he was going to the inside. I thought if I go to the outside, kind of meet in the middle a little bit, hopefully no contact, and then I've got the inside for the kind of little right-hand king that's like turn 2.
Yeah, sure.
So I thought I want to track position, but then have a go at De Silva.
No, awesome. I won't keep you too long because loads of people have started to join the chat, so I want to try and ask as many people as possible. But just congratulations on your race win.
Oh, thank you.
You know, lights to flag. You're pretty much the best on the track today. So well done.
That's what I try to be.
Right, should we go to our next one? I'm really hoping that your voice is coming through. But Chris V-Dub, you there? Right, I just want to check to make sure. Yeah, I just want to make sure that your voice is coming through. I just want a confirmation from Trev.
No, unfortunately, we can't hear Chris.
Oh no, Chris. Right, well, before anything, I don't want to ask too many questions for obvious reasons, but well done. We were rooting for you in the comm box, egging you on the whole way. No, we need to be impartial, but fantastic racing.
Oh, we can hear him. I'll take it back. Keep going. Keep going, Dan.
Right. Oh, brilliant. Awesome. Fantastic. For the last 3 or 4 laps, what was going through your brain? Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I did. Sure.
Oh. I do apologise. We can't actually hear Chris, and it was my own stupidity because I didn't pick up. I didn't pick up on the point that I've got my headphones on as well.
Oh,
so
super cool.
Quickly moving on. I think we've got Rusty GT and Chicken Paxo in the party. So
yeah,
I believe we can hear both of those.
Right. So we'll go with Rusty first. We didn't really see a lot of you this race. How did it go?
Well, obviously because we're live and I can't swear. Schoolboy error. So I was battling with Ben or Bazix. Sort of went for an inside line and just sort of we had a little tap and then I came off worse, I believe anyway. And then sort of had to fight back up to 8. But
you know, mistakes happen. Luckily, in this format, we've got another race. So, any sort of changes you're going to make into the final race? Now we are going into the dark, so can we do driver changes at this point?
Well, yeah, I'll jump in the comms box for me to take over. I think we'll just try and hopefully get up there and sort of battle with the lads at the front, just because probably the first time in a few weeks I've been quite close to the pace, just disappointed in sort of first race sort of out of my control, and then second one was in my control. So yeah, we'll give it a go and see what happens. So I'll repeat what I said at the end of race 1. We'll go for the next one.
Fingers crossed for you. I wish you all the best.
Thank you very much.
Finally, on to Ben. I'm keen to talk to you, Ben.
I thought you might be.
I can't justify the move you made. What happened?
Well, it wasn't really a move that I made. I moved across to try and go past Chris, and Banana Man was right behind me and tapped me, and at that point I lost all grip and couldn't slow down, so I was a missile.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it's just a culmination of things, and yeah, at that point I was really a passenger. So
sure.
So sorry to De Silva, because I know I kind of thumped him quite hard, but I wasn't aiming for him. But yeah, it's frustrating within 35-second pit stop afterwards. But on the plus side, used it to check the setup that I got 1 lap in qualifying to do, and it seems all right. So yeah, take the positives out of it and go for race 3.
Any sort of changes you're going to make for the last race? Now this is nighttime race. Any sort of setup changes you're going to go for?
Probably close the ducts slightly on the brakes, keep a bit of temperature in them, and probably put the tyre pressures up a couple of clicks, depending on what the actual temperature will be. We've dropped a couple of degrees just in that race. We started at, I think, 28 or 29, and we finished it at 25. So it was tough getting the tyres warmed back up after the pit stop. So didn't change the tyres. But we'll just see what the temperature is when we start and work from there a little bit. So got the small matter of qualifying to come first of all. So we'll see how we go.
Fingers crossed for you. We're rooting for you. We obviously didn't see a lot of you that race, but all the best for the next one.
Thank you very much. I've worked out what's gone on with the server as well. It's doing a 10-minute hold between the end of the race and the start of qualifying. It should be just do a 10-minute hold at the end of all the races, but for some reason it's doing it in the middle. So hence everyone jumping in, because they all realise being on the stream is such a good thing, and they all want to have their 5 minutes of fame with you guys.
Well, it's helped us out immensely, because it's given us someone to talk to, other than just staring at a line of cars, which are lovely looking cars, but there's only so much you can talk. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Well, we might have an option here for. We believe that Chris V Dub has sorted his audio.
We'll tell him to go back in it then. We'll tell him to go back in.
Yep. And I'll test it properly, rather than having one ear with my microphone headset on and the other ear with the phone to it, which I was listening to the stream, and my brain didn't realise I was getting the audio from two places. But there we go.
Yeah, that'll do it.
You don't.
In fact, speak of the devil. You got to stop talking about him now.
Well, hopefully.
Chris, we see that you're back, Chris. Hopefully we can hear you now.
He's just going to stay quiet now to wind everyone up.
Well, I thought I did hear something. You're very, very quiet if you are there.
Are you screaming for me?
Yes, we're all
screaming for you.
Can you hear me now, Trevor? Is it coming? It should be coming through. It's on allow now.
Is he Welsh?
I am Welsh.
I can hear him.
Right, fantastic.
Yeah. So sorry, I'll leave you two lovebirds together then. Well done, Chris. I'll see you in the next race, mate.
See you in the next one.
Right, well, in terms of questions, I completely forgot what I actually asked you in the first one.
Line, give it all you can.
Loving it on this track?
I bet you're not loving it on every track, though, are you?
No, Monza, it was a disaster. I was meant to be in the McLaren with James, but I couldn't get on with it. So I was like, I'm coming back to the Porsche. And somehow, tonight, it just feels like a weapon.
It does seem to be very planted. Now, given the fact that you're on controller, it does seem to really grip those corners. I thought we'd see you sort of sliding out a little bit more. Really, really brave choice to be on a controller and with quite a temperamental rear-end Porsche. So,
I'm surprised in the times. I am surprised in the times I've been putting down. Very surprised tonight.
Well, you're very competitive, so I'll let Trevor carry on now.
Yeah, I was going to say, talking the times, a minute of qualifying's gone already, so we may be best to let Chris go on. I did wonder if you were going to sort of pull the plug on it tonight, having got that second place, and decided you weren't going to get that high up the mountain again.
I'm not doing the next race because I got to get up at 2:30.
Oh, okay. Well, you can always stay with us if you want in the comms box for qualifying.
I could do, yeah. I suppose so. Give my thoughts on the process. Who do you want me to watch?
You can watch whoever you like.
Yeah, that's the number one problem, Chris. Welcome to the world of whatever one you watch, something will happen somewhere else. So I can use you as a third pair of eyes of what's going on, because the first sort of 3.5 minutes you generally have to waffle because we're waiting for everyone to do an out lap and do a sort of qualifying lap. So, well, I'll tell you what we could do. Why don't we hop on board? Where's your teammate, Mr. Flange Pants? He's working his way up to the top. why don't I take him on board, and if you could do the same thing, maybe you could talk us round a lap as he's coming down towards the end of the lap.
I don't know many of the corner names, mind, to be honest. I don't know any of them. I just use them as corners.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Neither do we.
We're just coming up to Murder Curve corner, as we call it, down to the final bit.
My favourite corner.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had a bit of a clip there, as you can see, but
there we go.
This is where I struggle with my car, putting the power down. Big time. With a controller, that is big time issue. Them last few corners, it's so much wheel spin, trying to get it in, and yeah. But down here, it's lovely.
And where you're braking about
100 metre board I brake at.
Oh, that's quite late.
Yeah, and then I bang it. I got my controller set to auto, but then I also got square and X set to gear change as well. So I'll bang it down the gears as well.
Ah, okay.
So I'm doing a mixture of both. I let the car go up the gears, and then some corners I'll bang it down the gears, and then some other corners I'll let the car do it as well, just to try and get the balance of the car and get the pitch.
Yeah. So a couple of questions on using a controller rather than a steering wheel setup. You said you use X and square as your gear changes.
Yeah.
Have you ever thought about using the right analog gears as a gear stick, like sequential style?
So my right hand analog stick is set to traction control.
Oh, okay.
My
good choice.
Obviously left obviously is steering.
Yeah, no, of course.
And then obviously the normal trigger buttons R2 and L2 are throttle and brake. And then X is up, squares down, circle is ABS.
Do you ever get the gear changes wrong? With the buttons so close together?
No, not really. Sometimes you can confuse the car. A lot of times, if you go too quick, and they're like, "Oh no, I'm not having it." But I don't really get my thumb crossed up with it.
Okay.
It feels more because standard is the R1 and L1 for the gears, isn't it, on the controller? But doesn't feel very nice.
Yeah, it's not very. It's not very ergonomic, is it? With
no,
you have
it
to
just
kind of
feels more ergonomic.
Fingers. Yeah, exactly. I typically on a racing game, if I'm using a controller, we use a thumbstick because I can flick my thumb up or down.
Yeah, it used to be like that on Gran Turismo, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can remember Gran Turismo 4 used to be like that, like analog stick with your throttle and accelerator. Yeah. I did try that setup on a Assetto Corsa when I first had it, and it didn't work.
Well, whatever works for you, you come second, so I'm not questioning your methods, that's for sure.
Yeah, I don't know how though. Still don't know how.
I'll tell you what, it was a fantastic battle. And
it felt really good to be battling with Jorgen again. Really.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Because I've had it so long. I've just been mid-pack, down the bottom, not fighting with anyone, no real challenges. And then them first couple of laps, I was like, I'm keeping up with Ben here. I'm keeping up with Dan.
Yeah.
I'm on De Silva's ass. What's going on? Well, James is going for a little excursion in the gravel. I was like,
he's making up his own track,
yeah. And I was thinking, this car feels good, you know. And I was saying to myself, like, brake at the right points, turn at the right points, you know. Don't do anything stupid. And then I worked out then where I was slow at the last section. I was like, right, you can just build your lap. I was just trying to build my lap every time.
So, question on setup. What's your kind of philosophy on it? Do you stick to a safe setup, make a few changes, or do you go to aggressive, or
so I used a Coach Dave setup then.
Oh, okay. Oh, they're clearly good setups.
They are good, but the one thing that is completely different was the cambers. Like online was like saying this, and I was like, well, it wouldn't let me go to that. I was like, I just made it up. I just guessed. I was like, yeah, that'll do. And it seemed to work.
So, Coach Dave set up and then just changed your cambers. Were you more negative, more positive? I'm assuming you were doing front and rear.
Yeah, I was doing front and rear, so it was quite very, as a Porsche goes, very positive. It was
okay.
Sure, I had it 2.5 on the front. That was as flat as it let me go, and then 1.7 on the back. So the backs were quite flat, which seemed to work. Which is odd for a Porsche, because they normally like a lot of camber and a lot of caster, and only had 6.7 degrees of caster.
Yeah, interesting that.
Because normally a lot of the boys they'll slam it up to like 11 on the caster.
Yeah, a bit of a weird. I'm from a world of go-karting where caster can be a massive difference. So I don't know what it's like in these cars.
I was going to try a different caster setting, but I was like, I don't know, I don't want to risk it. It feels good.
Yeah, no. If something feels good, it's not worth playing around with.
No, definitely not.
Well, I don't want to interrupt this great technical debate that I've got going on.
We didn't really talk about James. We didn't really talk about James's lap there, really, did we?
Well, you drifted off, so I did as well. But I was watching Chicken Paxo, and he's had a complete mare, along with Ricardo, because Chicken Paxo collided with two other cars during qualifying, and one of them was about 2.5 minutes to go, so he didn't have time to come in and do any repairs, so stayed out, and then has collided again, I think, with West Hill Racing. So this at the moment is actually showing that, Chris, you've actually out-qualified Chicken Paxo while talking to us.
Well,
I'll take that as a win as well before I go to bed.
I'll say it first. Well done, Chris, on your amazing qualification skills.
Thanks, mate.
Being able to talk and be one of the better drivers in the group. I'm really impressed. There's a few drivers that have not set qualifying times. Interestingly enough, Ricardo Hall's another one which I thought would. He
was on for doing a time, and then he got caught out round the exit of Murder Curb corner. He was across the gravel, and of course that invalidated his lap. Chicken Paxo collided with West Hill on the previous one. He was trying to. I think West Hill was trying to put a lap in, which he was totally entitled to do, but Chicken Paxo caught him and was trying to go round the outside that fast as you start to come back downhill, down that really fast left-hander. And he tried to go around the outside of him, just ended up on the grass and then bounced across the curbs and then collided with West Hill as he turned into the corner. So those two were having quite a bad time. I didn't see what happened to Groot and Marge, but they didn't get times in either. So that's rather turned things upside down a bit, actually. You've got people like Mike 65 up in 7th place.
Yeah, this is going to make for an interesting turn one, I think.
And Randy Flangepants, you need to be having a word there. He's down in 9th at the moment.
Oh, I need to get into him, don't I? He needs to pull. He needs to pull his stocks up and pull his weight, I think, in this team. Otherwise, he'll be getting the boot.
Why? Have you had applications for teammate?
No. I think we work well. We have a good laugh, as you can tell, and we don't do it for the points. We just do it for the fun of it.
Well, you see, there was always this thing when an outside shot at Formula One got a win. They'd always say in the sort of the days afterwards, "Oh, I've had lots of interest from other teams and all that going on." So you never know. You could have like Denali or Chicken Paxo on the phone wanting you to be teammate.
Hey, maybe if I start performing well, I might do.
Yeah, you see, you might be a case of naming your price.
First now, next time.
Well, are you going to? Do you want to join us for the start, or are you going to cut and run there, Chris?
I'm gonna shoot off now and go to bed, I think.
Okay. Well, thanks very much for your contribution there. That's really appreciated. And I think Dan really enjoyed talking to you there, didn't you?
Yeah, no, really good fun qualifying.
Yeah, well, I'm going to watch it back tomorrow and see how well it looks on the stream.
Well, the sun has set, so the third race is likely to be something a bit different. So I think it'll be worth watching back.
Yeah, righto. Well, have a good evening, and I'll leave you to it.
Okay. Thanks, Chris.
See you
Thank
later.
you.
Congratulations again.
Ta-da.
Bye.
Cheers, Billy. Ta-da.
Well, that was a lively driver interview section.
Yeah, I mean we kind of talked all the way through qualification there, so I do apologise. We've kind of missed all the action.
Well, it was flowing, and apart from, like I say, Chickapazzo down in 14th having a bit of a nightmare there, I noticed he didn't join the chat, so I'm wondering if there was a bit of things being lobbed around, so he decided it wasn't the moment to come and talk to us. So he's had a bit of a nightmare, and Ricardo Hall down there as well. So we've got two really quick drivers coming from the back of the field. But up front on pole, 3 out of 3 is Donardi, and Silva yet again alongside him.
Yeah, for sure. Let's see if Donardi can get the start this time.
30 seconds.
I think De Silva's going to have to watch for Alex, who seems to this qualifying he's put himself right back up there, isn't he? So.
And Banana Man up there as well on the second row, and Rusty GT at last having a bit of a better race, or at least qualifying. He's up there in 5th at the moment, got himself in front of DB Kung.
Yeah, I didn't really get a look at the time, so it'd be interesting to see what time DB Kung actually put in, because he had a really good battle that last one, and could have taken that second place, I think.
Yeah, it was. He was fighting away there. He just didn't seem to have that differential in performance to get himself in front of Chris V Dub there.
Yeah, for sure.
And with all those people not putting qualifying times in, Vicente down there in 11th at the moment. He is, I think that's his sort of best sort of proportional qualifying in that Lambo, and he's going to find himself right in the mix there, because he's alongside Yorkshire Mika, so could be quite an interesting little battle there.
Yeah, so what the guys are going to have to realise is they're going in, it's a cold track, cold tyres, cold brakes, and they're going into this first corner at sort of over 100 mile an hour. Yeah. And when you've got 17 drivers all doing the same thing, very easy for one of those to make a slip up. So sometimes it's better to be on the outside of a turn like that, and sometimes it's just better to be at the back, actually let the carnage happen in front of you and pick up the pieces.
Yeah, just pull over, let them by, wait for the crash, and then go from there.
Yeah, indeed.
Just to remind people watching at home, this is, as we said, round 6 of this 9-round championship, so those of you quick with the mental arithmetic will work out there is 3 more rounds to go. We've next week have got Zolder for a 1.5 hour endurance, and then we're off to Bathurst down in Australia for 3 20-minute races, and as we know, Bathurst is a very unforgiving circuit, particularly as you go over the mountain, so that should be quite lively. And then we finish our season with a 2-hour race at Laguna Seca. And that, of course, will be the last one for Race Club on the PS4, because we will be moving to the PS5 for next season. So if you want to get involved, look us up on Facebook. It's Race Club UK. Join the group and get involved. As you see, we've got a pretty full grid tonight, but we do get vacant slots on a weekly basis. And as you can see, we've got quite a good spread of driver abilities here, so you'll always find someone to race with. So I'm just wondering where Vicente looked like he was frantically trying to move up in positions, as they're just juggling themselves around and working out where they are going to start.
Yeah, I'm on board with Ben at the moment. You see all the drivers frantically trying to find their positions so they don't get a penalty.
So shall we risk a helicopter start?
I think it might be worth it, you know.
It will be the black car with the headlights overtaking the black car with the headlights.
Yeah. We should have stipulated that if you're going to join the group, you need a vibrant livery.
Yeah, well, we'll at least have a different rooftop colour, so we've got half a chance.
For sure.
So, well, I'm stuck focusing on Alex, who is third.
Green line, give it all you got.
Oh, blimey, look at all those drive-throughs for position at race start. And one of them is Donardi in pole position, and the other one is Alex Powell in third. So this is going to split things right open as Alex Powell looks like he's trying to go down the inside there. No, he's pulling across.
Yeah,
all
turn
looking a bit
one,
tight.
cold tyres. Ben's managed to keep himself out of trouble, and looks like he's moved himself up. He's behind Waterskin at the moment, about to make a move, although...
Oh, big crash in the background there. Randy Flangepan's involved.
Marge, yeah, DB Kung's involved. Waterskin was involved in that. Ben's just managed to scrape through.
Oh, look at that. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 drive-through penalties, and one car has already returned to the pits.
Marge is in the pits at the moment. Looks like Banana Man's out in front with DB Kung directly behind. Although, no, it's not. Sorry, no, it's all changed. I've got Donardi in front. So where are? Oh no, Banana Man and DB Kung are right at the back. I apologise there.
Yeah, I think it's just the timing screen has just been catching up because I was on the DB Kung.
I clicked on to Banana Man and saw there was no one in front of him and assumed that meant he was in front. It wasn't. It was because he was unfortunately right at the back.
But just look at all those drive-through penalties as they come round to complete lap front. We've got Donardi in the lead, but he's going to have to go for the... He pulls the trigger. He's gone for the pits to serve his penalty. The one that's in the pound seats here is De Silva, isn't he? Because Alex Powell behind him in third place in the Bentley. He's got to do a drive-through as well.
Well, and also Rusty TJ has benefited from that as well because he's going to automatically get second place once Alex finally pulls in. So if he can keep up the pace, he could be on for a podium.
He could. He's got Group behind him, and then well, I do feel I'm looking at Vicente there. He's up in 5th place now. By the look of the fact he's got drive-through, I think that's down to a jump start, but I think he's enjoying the moment up there in 5th.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happened on that opener because that's a lot of drive-throughs to happen, including Donardi, who should have been in front.
Well, the only thing I noticed as they went to the line, Donardi did look very forward.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know if that was actually, just a visual thing because I couldn't the angle I'd got. But he did. Normally the first 2 cars, 1 and 2, are alongside, but it was almost like a Formula 1 grid where they were staggered. So whether there was a technical glitch there or not, but as you say, to have 5 cars all have a drive-through is quite unusual.
Yeah, normally I would have said on a rolling start, the first place sets the pace. So realistically, shouldn't that have been second place's fault for not being in line?
Oh, I don't know. Well, that'll have to go to the stewards after the race. Well, I'm just on board with Alex Powell, and he's decided to hang on to his drive-through as long as possible, which I think is probably the right thing to do, because that may...
I'm not too sure.
Why would you say that one?
Well, what time are you gaining by being in? He's chasing down De Silva.
Yeah.
I would say come in, get some clear air, try and make up the time.
And
at the moment, he's chasing people down.
Yeah, but that would be my argument: is if he goes as many laps as he can, the field will have stretched out, and there's more chance of him coming out in front of slower cars.
Oh, okay.
Don't know if it's the right logic, but it sounds good.
Yeah, that's the thing. If you're coming out in the middle of packs of slower cars, then your lap times will naturally get slower. It's horses for courses, isn't it, really? I mean, it depends on the driver. If they're comfortable making their way through the slow pack, then then that's fine. But I'd rather do it when they're all bunched up, I guess.
Well, to give you an idea where probably Alex Powell is going to pop out, Donardi at the moment is in 9th. He is in relatively clear air. He's got 2.5 seconds in front. We'll hop on with Donardi now, there in the McLaren. He's about 2.5 seconds behind Randy Flangepants, catching him, looks like, at a fair rate. So I think that's roughly where Alex will come out, and I think Alex has got to go to the pits this lap, hasn't he?
I would have said so. I think it's 3 laps and then he has to go. Otherwise he gets a stop and go, I think.
Yes, or maybe even a disqualification. Or talking to stop and go.
He's jumped in, so
yeah. Poor old Waterskin has in 15th has got us, or he's now 16th. He's got a stop and go. So I think he took a drive through, and he probably did the old. Vicente hasn't gone. He's got disqualified. That was for speeding on the start, but that may be because he hasn't taken his penalty.
So that's what it looks like. It's a disqualification. So if we have a look at where...
Oh, hang on a sec. We have got Donardi up the inside of Randy Flangepants at the first corner. So that's Donardi up back already to 6th, and Randy Flangepants down to 7th. So sorry, Dan, go on.
No, right. So what I was trying to say was Alex has come out behind THG Mike, whereas Donardi has come out and he's now in 6th. So my argument would be go in and take the penalty when everyone's fighting and slowing each other down before they spread out. I think looks like it was the best choice coming in early.
Yeah,
because Alex is now down to 12th.
The logic to me is let it all spread out, and then you're further ahead of those slower cars. But yeah, I can see exactly that has worked. But we've got Donardi looking at the back of Rusty GT up at the hairpin, and it looks that was tight, wasn't it? It looked like Donardi was going to take a tighter line there, but couldn't quite make it stick.
Yeah, Rusty had gone a little bit further wide than maybe he was expecting, and has cut back in. I don't know, I think Donardi probably should have had that corner actually. Rusty looks like he's having problems.
Yeah, well, he's got a mirror full of Donardi, isn't he? So, but still, even if Donardi gets by, he's still 6 seconds behind his teammate Chicken Paxo, who is fairly well up the road already. So I'd be surprised if he can bridge much more of a gap than getting to 5th place.
Well, I will say, only 6 seconds behind after a drive-through. That's not bad.
It's pretty good, isn't it?
It's pretty good, yeah.
But we're over 3rd race distance, so I think this is probably the one that he's going to be able to do. But looking behind, what I have noticed is Yorkshire Mika has got up to 7th place. He's got in front of Randy Flangepants, and it looks actually that Ricardo has got in front of Randy Flangepants as well. So Ricardo is up to 8th and Randy down to 9th.
Yeah. So, I'm not too sure what's going on with Randy Flangepants actually, because he was doing all right. So.
Well, we had
someone else just got. No, sorry, I thought someone had a stop and go, but it flashed up on my screen and then left.
Well, we had Chris V Dub in the 2nd race, who was doing that fantastic bit of driving, and up in 2nd place. This time round, you mentioned it earlier and called it right, it was Rusty TJ. He's up there in 2nd at the moment. Groot in the Audi is there in 3rd, but in their shadow is Chicken Paxo. In this race is the faster of the 2 teammate McLarens, and it looks like Chicken Paxo will be having a go at Groot any second now, I would say.
Yeah, well, I'm on board with Paxo now, and you can see the frustration in Ben flashing his headlights to the guys in front.
But they're entitled
to
be there.
To get in front.
I know.
Oh yeah, no, they shouldn't have to get out of the way for him, that's for sure.
So yeah, here we go down in the first corner. Oh, I think he just caught himself out a little bit on the brakes there. The Audi in front of Chicken Paxo there just broke a little bit earlier, and he had to take avoiding action. So, but they are catching up very quickly with Rusty TJ. So this is becoming a 3-way battle as Rusty TJ runs a bit wide out onto the gravel, and Groot is through into 2nd place. Chicken Paxo coming up alongside, and as he got by, we swoop round the outside looking back from Chicken Paxo. Yep. Got the move done. So Chicken Paxo up to 3rd, Groot is up to 2nd, but I don't think he's going to be there for long, do you?
Not with Ben constantly flashing him, I don't think so.
Well, But the one who is really in the pound seats at the moment, as we are clicking down to half race distances, will be announced.
We are halfway through, keep pushing.
Is that De Silva is 10 seconds up the road already, so I think he's got this one in the bag, subject to any little mistakes.
Yeah, it's a long way to make up, isn't it? The problem with having Rusty, TJ and Groot up second and third is that they're actually slowing the pack down, so Ben's had to make some quite drastic moves to try and get through to get some clear air. I'd imagine at the moment Ben's lap times aren't exactly blistering.
Well, he's just going across the line now, so yeah, he's done a 1:44.9 against Groot's 1:45.0. Rusty TJ currently in fourth, Donardi in fifth.
I mean, fair play to Donardi, he's actually driving a phenomenal race considering the penalty.
Old Chicken Paxo we're on board, we've still got his thumb stuck on that flashy light button.
Oh, I know. I can almost hear the frustration in those flashy lights.
Well, I hope the stream is not looking too pixel. Oh, we're down the inside at the S's. It looks like he's got it done at the first part. Yes, he has. Looking back, and it looks like Rusty TJ not that far behind still, by the look of it.
No, I think him and Groot are pretty much on pace with each other, so these guys could have a good battle for third place.
So let's have a look. We've got Groot there in third at the moment, and Rusty TJ there in fourth, but coming up in Rusty TJ's mirror and just 2 seconds up the road is the original Mr. Drive-Through, Donardi F1, who's already got himself back to fifth, and it looks like he might be eyeing up a podium here.
Yeah, I mean, he's still got a third race distance left, so still plenty to play for. He just needs to try and make the moves as quick as possible.
Well, just while that one comes to the boil, I'm just watching Ricardo Hall down in 8th place, who is just 0.35 off the back of Yorkshire Mika as they whiz through the kink down towards Crowthorne. I think Ricardo Hall's going to launch it down the inside.
Yeah.
Fantastic move. That was a bit of a lunge. He's gone deep, and he's just elbowing that Bentley of Yorkshire Mika out the way, and it looks like he's got that move done. So Ricardo Hall started quite well down. I think it was about 15th. He's got himself up to 8th, so quite a good recovery there at the moment. So this battle for 3rd, 4th and 5th is really tightening up with 6 3/4 minutes to go. I think this is the one that's going to get a bit lively, because De Silva's long gone. He's up the road well away. Chicken Paxo's up to 2nd, and I don't think really closing that gap on De Silva. So I think 1st and 2nd is settled. It's this battle for 3rd is where the action is.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's how well Dan can now make his way through these two, and a bit of a slide there I noticed coming out of that corner from Donardi. He's really pushing now.
He is, and I don't really look away, but I will quickly, because we've got Alex Powell, who was one of our quick racers from earlier on. He's down in 10th at the moment, because he didn't put a qualifying time in, and he's just catching DB Kung, who seems to be quite out of position. He's down there in 9th and getting quite a lot of pressure from Alex there as they come round to complete the lap.
Well, do remind yourself that Alex did have a drive-through, if I remember rightly.
Oh, good point. Yeah, we had all those drive-throughs. We had people who didn't qualify, put qualifying times in. So, yeah, it was quite a topsy-turvy starting grid.
Yeah, everyone seemed to be a little bit out of place, didn't they?
Yeah, I think Chris V Dub's 2nd place in the second race disturbed the matrix.
Yeah, I think.
Oh, hang on. I think we maybe have a slight. Someone's got. I don't know where. Problem, because all the cars are sliding in slightly interesting modes on screen. So Just bear with us. I'll head for De Silva.
Yeah, your stream's going a little bit matrixy.
Well, that's funny. I mentioned the Matrix. Someone must be listening. Well, I've gone to De Silva because there's only one car on stream, and it looks like he is pointing the right direction. So I think we're okay on that one. Because unfortunately,
I think you're back.
Yeah, we're back. Because unfortunately, what we did miss with all those cars doing strange things is Denardi now in fourth, got by Rusty TJ. So he's dealt with Rusty. He now is after dealing with Groot and trying to get himself back on that podium, despite having a drive-through.
Yeah, he's really battling now. Coming into that corner, he was very hot. Also flicking his lights, expecting Groot to move out of the way. Tough luck, mate. You're going to have to earn that place. It doesn't come for free.
It does seem like a chicken Paxo Denardi manoeuvre, that.
Yeah, definitely.
Macho flashing lights. Oh, has he got the move done here as they head up towards barbecue? He's up the inside.
Is he going to go too deep?
And and then there was looked like Rusty TJ was trying to have a bit of a cheeky move round under Groot as well, and they come together. And unfortunately, Rusty's ended up in the gravel. He's getting himself going again, but that was slightly unfortunate there. Don't think it was in. I think it comes under racing incident, but it was a little bit tight. That's dropped him down to ninth, unfortunately, with just 3 minutes to go.
Yeah, that's a bit unfortunate, really, considering the position he was in. A minute ago, he could have held on for fifth.
Well, what we'll do, we'll hop back up the front because poor old De Silva, he got out there at the beginning. The drivers around him took those drive-throughs, so that really handed him the lead with a margin as well. And he's just keeping it on the island. Probably got the stereo on, wound the window down, and cruising around.
Yeah, I think with a 10-second buffer, he can afford to shift up quick and take his time in the corners.
I think he's got 2 laps to go.
I will say this: it's thoroughly deserved, considering he didn't qualify in the first race, battled hard in the second. I think he does deserve this. Someone's got a stop and go penalty.
I was Mike 65. I think he's just gone too quick through the pit lane.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
So we're still racing, and I'll paraphrase, is basically saying he would decide if he's not that good in the dark, and if it's too bad, he's just going to park it up so he doesn't get anybody's way.
Oh, okay.
Which is fair enough. But, just keep it between the red and white curbs, you'll be fine.
Yeah, for sure.
So I think De Silva is heading round probably to start his last lap as he goes round the hairpin and heads down the hill. I'll tell you what, I'm going to hop on board with him because hopefully I will catch it.
So he's got West Hill Racing in front of him, being shown blue flags, which I'll be surprised if he can see them, because it's pretty dark out there.
It is. But he's got the move done anyway. It looked like West Hill went a little bit deep there, so you can see the lights of Johannesburg in the distance there behind the barrier as De Silva comes round to start his final lap. Turn to
leaders on final lap now.
Trackside cameras, so we get the best view for you at home. Bit of a clumsy system here with ACC, but we do get ourselves round it. So just remind you, we will be back same time next week, which is 8:30 on a Tuesday night, and so we hope you will click those like and subscribe buttons on our YouTube channel, and we will be back with live commentary again for you next week. So don't forget us, please come back around. So just look at Yorkshire Mika and Ricardo Hall and DB Kung seem to be in a little bit of a freeway battle.
Yeah, it does look that way, doesn't it? Fighting to the end, which we like to see.
They are, and it looks like, is that a lap car that's coming up in the way, or is...
DB Kung.
Yeah, I could see
He's
him
pushed
coming
himself
back.
a little bit wide.
Yeah, I think he had to buy a ticket to get back in. He'd gone so wide there, hadn't he?
Yeah. Looks that way.
So it looks like Ricardo Hall is looking to have a go at Rusty GT. He's looking to go inside there. Can't quite make it stick. Rusty GT goes a bit wide. Groot in front is trying to scamper away. Unfortunately, Groot has just dropped off the podium with Chicken Paxo and Denali coming through on him. But yeah, this is quite a feisty little battle here by the look to the end. The auction maker at the back. Oh, they've come together. Ricardo Hall collided with somebody there. He's nipped his way across the grass.
He collided with Groot.
Ah, okay. So I don't think he's actually lost the position there. Oh, someone's gone a bit wide in the background there. One of the other Bentleys. I think that might have been Alex Powell. So
it is.
The leader has finished the race.
Yeah, so there we go. De Silva's just crossed the finishing line. Chicken Paxo just coming out of the exit with Donardi in his rear view mirrors. So that despite the drive through for Donardi, he didn't finish very far behind his teammate at all. So
yeah, definitely the right move to jump in straight away, I think.
And Rusty GT comes through in 4th. Yorkshire Mika comes through in 5th. A good result there for Yorkshire Mika. And Ricardo Hall in 6th, DB Kung 7th, Alex Powell in 8th. They're coming through thick and fast. Rusty TJ was a little bit further up earlier on. Unfortunately, he's dropped back there. He's down in 9th. Garut is looking like he is out of field. He's just been overtaken by Banana Man.
Yeah,
I don't know if he's
Banana Man's coming through with Waterskin at the moment. So Waterskin being a few laps down. So it'll be Banana Man next.
Yeah, Banana Man I can see just coming up. But I don't know if Groot's out of field. Oh, that's Waterskin's just gone for a scenic route there on the last corner. So Banana Man, not the race he would have wanted. He's come through in 9th. Groot there, I think, may have rolled to a stop. So if any of the drivers can hear us, if they could pop round and give Groot a little bit of a push to the end, that would be appreciated. Porsche coming through there, not sure who that is.
That was THG Mike's, that one.
Oh, right. Oh, hello, I think someone's coming along to pick him up. Here we go. There we go. One of the Donardi, or is that Donardi?
It's Paxo.
Yeah, Paxo's giving him
the nudge.
Yeah. So he's still currently 10th. I'm amazed he ran out of fuel, because if the third race, you think you'd have got your eye in on the fuel. I can't think why you would have used more.
Well, I mean, you could play the game of, oh, well, I had this much left over, so I'll take that much out next time. And you got to bear in mind, he was driving up, in second, third place for a lot of that race, so he was really pushing it.
I know you're supposed to save every kilo, but I've never been one for cutting it too fine on the fuel, because the pain and penalty, if you're a couple of litres short, I just never think's worth it.
No, definitely not. Oh, Rusty GT's now coming to give him a tap as well.
I'm not sure if it's showing the session has ended, so I don't know if it's actually. I don't know if that actually all happened quick enough there. So, but they're now. I think it looks like they're taking revenge on each other there, because they're. It looks like Donardi or Chicken Paxo was pushing Groot into the barrier. So hopefully we're going to get a few drivers jump in and have a quick chat. And interestingly, Chris V Dub technically finished ahead of Vicente, because he didn't get disqualified.
Yeah, so without even trying, he made up a place.
That's quite impressive. So
points are points at the end of the day.
Yeah, and what do points mean? You're probably not old enough for that joke, right?
Well, points mean prizes is normally what you're going to say, isn't it?
Yeah, well, there we go. You're not as young as I thought.
No, definitely not.
Yorkshire Mix says, I'll take that towards the end on the YouTube stream. Yeah, I'm sure you will, because that was quite a drive there, and a really good finisher position there, up there in 5th. And I think you've got a driver there, Dan.
Yeah, actually, we've got a couple of drivers that joined us. I need to make sure that they're actually can be heard. So, who have we got in? We've had... Oh, just gone on the wrong chat there.
Well, you keep talking to him, and I'll do a check and listen.
Right, so we've got Yorkshire Mika. Are you there? Can you hear me? Awesome. Oh, we're getting some echo from you.
No, unfortunately, we can't hear Yorkshire Mika, I'm afraid.
I'm going to have to avoid the questions, unfortunately, with you. On to the next one.
I think Rusty GT came in.
So it'll be Rusty GT or Chicken Paxo. I think we'll go Rusty GT first.
Hello.
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 That one seemed better.
Yeah, mixed emotions on that one. Just pressures are a bit low, so it was sort of a bit difficult out of the tight corners. But yeah, and then we had some blue flag incidents, but there we are.
Okay.
4th place is better than I suppose further down the field. So
I think take what you can get, considering you had a lot of drivers start the race with a drive-through penalty. So
yeah,
I'd take that.
Yeah.
Did you adjust the pressures from the last race?
Yeah, I did, just not high enough, unfortunately.
No, it's always the way sometimes.
So, yeah, I mean, yeah, a couple of frustrating. The car was a bit sort of unpredictable, but it is what it is. Yeah, so a bit disappointed, but there we go.
Well, you've got to be happy with that one. Fourth on the grid, and
yeah.
Quickest Mercedes. Can you take that one away? That's
yeah. I mean, as I say, that you always want more, and I think I just sort of think, what if probably would have been podium or maybe
for sure.
second if I hadn't have we had those errors, and so I got caught up in the back market. But,
there's always next week.
So.
Yeah, it is race at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Right.
But just repeat, what everybody says. You two are doing a top job. So thank you very much.
Oh, thank you for coming in and chatting.
Yeah.
See you next week, guys. Thank you.
See you next week.
Cheers.
Right, I think we're going to go with Ben. Ben again. Are you there?
I am here, yes.
How was that one for you?
Interesting, I think, was to say the least. I think a couple of people probably need to look at their track etiquette. I had my lap absolutely ruined by someone in qualifying who had been off the track and then decided to start racing towards the end of the lap. Which I think you saw me head first in the barrier at that point. But yeah, starting from 15th was interesting. But no, it was cars falling off left, right, and centre. A bit of carnage on the first lap.
Yeah, I think that's a culmination of a few things. One being that everyone seemed to be a little bit out of place, whether it was because of the dark, because of the cold, I'm not too sure, but definitely a lot of incidents into that first corner, which you seem to actually get through quite well.
I was kind of anticipating it. Just heading down there, I could just kind of see it, thinking, right, this is going to be fun, and then bang, it started going off. But yeah, it was an eventful race. I think it was a great fight with Groot, though. He was absolutely superb. He had his car in all the wrong places for me, so I just couldn't find a way past him until he outbraked himself slightly, and I was able to nip past.
I tell you what, you coming up behind Rusty TJ and who else was the other one?
I think it was Groot at the time.
Groot and Rusty. Seeing you constantly flipping your flashes on at them, I was thinking, come on, Ben, you need to earn it. And I'm just going to move out of your way.
Well, just panic them a little bit. So I know Stuart used to love me getting me flashes out, so he found it hilarious all the time. So
I'll tell you what, we're going to take that button away from you, I think, next race.
No chance. Got a special button cap for it.
Yeah, I'll bet.
I have got a quick question for you, Ben. At the start, we had 5 drive-throughs, presumably for being out of position. Do we know what caused that?
Probably them being out of position would probably be the answer to that one. Now, there's like a little green box that comes up at the start, and you've got to stay within that, but you get a very short period of time on the run up to the start line to actually make sure you're in the right place. So if you're slightly too far forwards, or you exceed the speed limit, because the speed limit is like 43 miles an hour, or so about 60 kilometres an hour. If you go faster than that, sorry, 70 kilometres an hour.
70 kilometres,
yeah. If you go faster than that, then you get your drive-through penalty. Unfortunately, I think someone did actually get a stop-and-go penalty for speeding in the pits whilst serving their drive-through penalty for speeding on the start. So that's normally where it comes from. So little green box, which if you see the driver's streams, you'll see it from there on board. There's like a sort of wavy line that you have to stay in the middle of, and if you go slightly too far forward, you get your penalty. So that's probably how it happened.
Yeah, but I was just surprised there were so many, because you usually get maybe one a race, but suddenly there was 5, which I thought was quite unusual.
It was, but I think everyone was just very eager to get on with it. It'd been the whole parade lap had just seemed a little bit strange. I don't know why. A couple of people commented on the other chat saying that it's been a really, really weird formation lap, and it's can't really explain it. I didn't get one, so I'm quite happy. But yeah, it's must have just been slightly out of position. It doesn't take much. You've just literally an inch here or an inch there. If you're too far forward, you're going to get a penalty.
From my point of view, so I was locked to your onboard throughout the parade lap, and it looked like people didn't really understand where their position was, because a lot of the people, because of the qualification, was kind of a bit all over the place. A lot of people out of position already, coming up to the warm-up lap or parade lap. They were kind of like looking for, am I supposed to be next to him? I'm not normally next to him, that kind of thing. That's what it looked like from my perspective.
Well, I think what happened towards the back of the grid, where I was, Chris hadn't done a lap in qualifying either. So when the grid formed up, he was to my right. Obviously, he then didn't take the start and left. So as you went round the parade lap, the people at the back then had to kind of shuffle forward one position, which meant I then started on the right rather than on the left, where I was on the grid slot. So that might have caught a few people out. But the people who seemed to get caught out were the people further up the grid. So I think they were just too eager, maybe getting nosebleeds for being so far up the grid, and just slightly out of position to try and get the jump.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so I don't have any other questions unless Trevor, you got any questions?
I think you very much covered everything there. So yeah, that was great. We had some really good driver interviews. It's been really good.
Excellent. Well, I'd say slightly by accident, we weren't planning on having 10 minutes between the race and qualifying, but perhaps we'll do 5 minutes then, so we don't have to keep you guys guessing for too long. But although next race is it's a single race at 1.5 hours at Zolder. So should be a good race. But thanks to the comms guys. Again, I'll echo what everyone else said. You guys do a fantastic job. So putting up with us a lot as well. So thank you very much for giving it the time to do it, and we do really appreciate it.
No probs.
Awesome.
All right, guys. Well, I will speak to you guys next week.
Okay, that's brilliant. Thank you, Ben. So, and as Ben has already told you, we will be back same time next week, 8:30 on a Tuesday, with a 1.5 hour race from Zolder, and that will be absolutely fantastic. Anything last words wise from yourself, Dan?
Not from me.
No. Well, take care, everyone, and we will catch you all soon.